fans, this is the mellow tones of Charlie Jones from the Judges Tower at Midvale Speedway. And how about it? Auto racing fans, start your engines. More exciting stock car racing from Midvale Speedway coming your way. Midvale Speedway Racing brought to you by Norris Oil Company, Brightwood Motors, Farmer Smith's Market, Midwest Brokering, Malquit Speed Shop, Haas Body Shop, and Speedy Auto Parts. And now to bring you all the action, let's get down to the track with your favorite race announcers, Chris the Captain Talati and Mike the Bruiser Bracone. Take it away, gang.
Our first race of the evening will be our late model dash, our 4 fastest qualifiers. And with tonight's lineup, Mike Bracone.
All right, on the pole tonight, number 45, Dick Yohe. On the outside, 03, Lonnie Vaughn. Driving the number 58 car, Doc Dixon of Sharesville. And the fastest qualifier tonight, number 7, Rich Rohr. Chris, we got a different outlook here tonight. Joe 9, number 55, still sitting in the pits. First time this year in our dash.
Well, Mike, he qualified for it, but they're having a problem with the car. I think they'll get it under control, and Joe will still be a hard man to beat in that feature. Dick Yohe with the early lead here in the dash. I would say, Mike, the real surprise tonight would be Dick Yohe in the 45 car and Doc Dixon. Kenny Stevens never had that car in the dash, and these two guys are really running strong tonight.
And another one I think we could make a comment on here, Chris, is 03, Lonnie Vaughn. Since he put the tires on the car about 3 or 4 weeks ago, he's been running real well.
Well, Lonnie's always one of our top competitors, and he's trying to get that Chrysler product running. You can see we got a lot of oil on the track. We had a couple engines blow here early, so the track's a little slippery tonight. Coming in for the white flag, Dick Yohe, Canton, our leader in our dash. Rich Rohr running third, trying to move up on Doc Dixon.
I think we've said since about the third week, Chris, that we were going to have a different picture in the feature event. Maybe tonight's going to be it. These first 3 cars here are running real well, and we'll just have to see what Joe 9 can do.
Well, Dick Yohe wins the dash, but I see Mike Lonnie Vaughn just pulled in the pits. He came in the on-ramp. Something leaking from the car. Looks like Lonnie might have blowed an engine or something. We've had about 3 cars blow engines tonight here already. The heat might have something to do with that.
I think so too, Chris. The heat has a lot to do with these engines overheating. And from our vantage point here, where Lonnie came off, it looks like antifreeze. Or, water from the radiator.
Well, maybe Lonnie will get her back together here in time to run the feature tonight. We might mention that the races will be replayed again Monday night at 8 o'clock. And immediate following the races, you can watch the Mr. Tuscarawas County contest. Also Monday at 6 and Tuesday at 7, watch the color replay of the Times Reporter All-Star Charities football game. And I guess, Mike, that was a real tough game they had last night.
Right, I read the paper tonight, the sports page. They said it was one of the finest they've had so far. A lot of big kids in high school right now compared to 10 years ago, 15 years ago. They have some real bruisers in those games.
Okay, Dick Yohe giving back the checker flag, pulling in the pits. And let's take this time out for a word from our sponsors.
Make your car shine like a dime every time at Union 76 pit stops in Dover, New Philadelphia, or Uricksville. Why drag out the hose, bucket, soap, or scrub brush when you can let the car care professionals at Union 76 pit stops make it shine like new? The big orange Union 76 ball is your sign for assurance of the best wash job anywhere in the county. Union 76 pit stop car washes, where their motto is, if your car has dust or rust, a wash job is a must. Speedy Auto Parts, located across from Beitner Tire on North Worcester Avenue in Dover, is your complete parts supply store. Speedy features a complete line of motorcraft parts and accessories, Walker exhaust systems, and much, much more at everyday low prices. Open 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturdays. For that hard-to-find part to keep your car running in top shape, see Jeff at Speedy Auto Parts in Dover. Parking and entrance at the rear of the building.
Car late model heat lining up here on the track, on the pole. Number 17, Bobby Shepner from Canton. 69, Brad Kreischer, Dover. 67, Tom Baker from Strasburg. 84, Rick Schweitzer, Barnhill. 74, Ed Nelson from Canton. 77, Jim Coffey, Delroy. 99, Glenn Jewell, New Philly. And 33, Gary Smith from New Philly. And Mike, this is our second heat of the night. Our first heat was won by Bernie Sellers from New Philly. I think that's Bernie's first win of the year. Might be the first win he's ever had. I'm not sure about that.
That's what I was thinking, Chris. That was his first win here at Midvale Speedway that I can remember. Driving a real nice race that first heat.
Well, we've got over 92 cars in the pits again. Really having real great turnouts here this year. In our late model division, like we said before, we had about 4 cars blow engines early. Joe Nine's having a lot of problems. Looks like he's back in the car, though, going to be ready to run in this heat race, so maybe everything's under control. This should be a 10-lap heat. Evidently, our flagman doesn't like the lineup. Giving them a signal for one more lap, bunch them up. We'll be ready to go. Mike, I think we're going to have that number 33 car looked at there. That little sleek design. I'm not quite sure if that's conforming to all the rules.
I agree there, Chris. It's kind of hard to tell what kind of a car it really is. From the front, it looks like a Chevrolet Camaro. But from the back, you can't really tell what it is. And from the design of the roof, it's kind of hard to tell.
Okay, green flag on our heat race. Bob Shepner, Canton, taking the lead. Brad Kreischer going up alongside. Mike, this car Brad Kreischer's driving, he had a real bad experience his first night out in a late model. Had to get a brand new car, come back and run.
I think he made a good buy too, Chris. The car he's running right now is the old number 16, Jeff Biddicker's, and when Jeff had it, it ran real well. And the way Brad's driving it right now, holding true to form, still running real good.
I see Ed Nelson moving up in the back of the pack along with Jim Coffey. Bob Shepner still our leader. Rick Schweitzer coming on the outside now. Mike, this is Rick's first year in the late model division.
He's doing a real good job too, Chris. Last year, the past couple years, he drove in our spectator division, moved up to the late model division this year, and doing a real good job.
Oh, Rick going down the straightaways real fast, having a little problem in the corners. Looks like he has enough car to win this race. We can get around Kreischer. Bob Shepner halfway home. 5 more laps to go. Ed Nelson now moving up, challenging Schweitzer.
I think this is about the best we've seen that number 17 car run too, Chris. He had another Mustang before this car here, but I think this one here runs a lot better.
Well, it seems to be handling real well out there for Bob. Driving a smooth race right now, all bunched up behind him. Kreischer and Schweitzer side by side. Jim Coffey now moving in. Rick Schweitzer trying to get around Brad Kreischer for that second spot and get a shot at Shepner. He finally takes him on the outside now. Can Rick Schweitzer overtake Bobby Shepner?
We got a real good race here, Chris. This is our medium qualifiers. Putting on a real good show.
Jim Coffey now moving on the inside of Schweitzer. White flag out one more time around. One more time, Schweitzer making a move on the outside. seems to have enough car, but he can't handle in the turns. Jim Coffey now takes over second position. On the outside is Shepner, coming in for the checkered flag. Bobby Shepner, Jim Coffey. Oh, and I think Bobby Shepner just nosed him out there, Mike.
Real close race, Chris. From our view here, it looked like a dead heat. I'm sure that the judges had a better view of it. And they'll have the... Yeah, it looks like number 17.
Well, just from the way they went across, it looked to me like 17, but he kind of blocked our view here of 77, Jim Coffey on the outside, so we'll see who they hand the checkered flag to. And it's number 17, Bobby Shepner of Canton, our winner of our second heat of the evening. Might remind you also that here on TV2, Wednesday and Thursday, we'll bring you 2 free days of showtime. Wednesday, you can see Mission Galactica, Rod Stewart, Centennial Part 2, The Great Train Robbery, and Love at First Bite. Thursday night, we'll have Centennial Part 3, the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner movie. That'd be your favorite, Mike. The Champ, The Seduction of Joe Tynan, and Foul Play. TV2, Showtime, television worth paying for here on cable TV2. Thursday night baseball this week will be preempted so that we can bring you this Showtime special. Might mention also our cameraman tonight is Brian Young, and our director is Mike Guido Civillo. Does a real good job here for us at Midvale Speedway. And coming on the track, our fast heat of the evening. These are our top qualifiers. Mike, who have we got out there?
Well, Chris, one thing I want to point out, first of all, is which is on the car on the pole, Bobby Allensworth with a brand new car out here tonight, which I think is one of the finest looking machines we've had here at Midvale Speedway. Bobby and his brother worked real hard on this car. That's number 3, Bobby Allensworth on the pole. Number 10, Kenny Sellers. Number 65, Smoke Erickson. Number 45, Dick Yohe. Number 55, Joe 9. Number 58, Doc Dixon. And fastest qualifier, number 7, Rich Rohr of Canton.
Well, like you said, Mike, Allensworth, boy, I'll tell you, for the last 2 weeks, these guys have done nothing but work on this car to get it ready, and they've got a beautiful looking machine. And I'm sure that if they can get it handling, first night out, there's bound to be a few problems. That car will be able to run with the best of them. Right now, Bobby with the lead. Smoke Erickson also been running real strong last 2 weeks. Right there on his bumper.
I think Bobby's only trouble right now, Chris, is coming out of the turn. It looks like he's pushing it just a little bit. But going down the straightaways, it looks like it's running real strong.
Well, I'll tell you, he's got a lot of power down the straightaway. If he gets it handling, he'll be hard to beat. But as we can see, Mike, moving up in the number 3 spot in the heat already, number 55. Joe 9, and he's been just a tremendous runner this year with 5 straight feature victories. Might also mention too, Mike, that Bobby Allensworth has a set of our experimental tires on the car. When Greg Gallagher blew in our 100-lap feature, we turned the tires over to Allensworth. Doing a real good job right now with them. Joe 9 trying to dip inside of Smoke Erickson for second. Halfway home, 5 laps to go.
I think we're going to have a different story tonight, Chris, in the feature. Allensworth's car is running real well. Real surprising for the first night.
Well, Rich Rohr, too, started on the tail of this race, moved up now to 4th. Smoke Erickson trying to find a groove on that outside, can't seem to find it. Now pulling up alongside Allensworth, who spun a little bit. And Joe 9 dropping out. Must have problems again, Mike.
I don't know, Chris. It looks like maybe one of his rear tires is going flat. Looks like his left rear wheel's a little bit... Left rear tire's a little bit low.
There's Smoke Erickson pulling out on the outside groove again, trying to get Allensworth, but just doesn't seem to be anywhere to run out there. I know we've got a lot of oil dumped on that track. It's a little bit slick. White flag, Allensworth slips again. coming out of the corner. Smoke Erickson now pulling alongside. One more lap to go. They're coming for the checker. Allensworth slides again a little bit. Erickson right there on the outside with Roar right there on their bumper. Coming home for the checker flag. Bobby Allensworth, Smoke Erickson. It'll be Bobby Allensworth, first time out in the car, first win. And I'll tell you, Mike, that car looks like it's going to be one of our top runners.
Very impressive win by Bobby Allensworth, Chris. First time he's had the car on the track tonight, and he just took the car around here like he's had it out here all season. I think once they get the bugs worked out of the handling in the turns, he's going to be a top contender in that car.
Well, he slipped and coming out of number 2 a little bit. He also had a little problem there out of number 4, but he was able to keep it under control, keep Smoke Erickson behind him for the win. So Bobby Allensworth, our fast heat winner. We'll be back with more racing from Midvale Speedway right after our word from our sponsors.
At Brightwood Motors on East High Avenue Extension in New Philadelphia, we pride ourselves on both service work and parts availability. Service Manager Gary Seymour and Parts Manager Lowell Youngin serve as an unbeatable combination to keep you happy as well as your car in top running condition. Customers are important to us, which is why we go the extra mile to please you. So, for service work or parts you can count on, see the automotive experts at Brightwood Motors in New Philadelphia. Through 50 years and 3 generations, Farmer Smith's Market on East High Avenue in New Philadelphia has been supplying Tuscarawas Countyans with the very best fresh fruits and vegetables daily. Our 50 varieties of cheeses plus 15 varieties of lunch meats, as well as any type of fresh fruit or vegetables always on hand. Amish baked goods, as well as cheese and meat trays are also a specialty. Farmer Smith's Market on East High Avenue in New Philadelphia, open 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. November through August.
All right, we're back here at Midvale Speedway. Coming out onto the track now is our cars for our late model pursuit. Our fastest 10 qualifiers. Mike, how's the lineup look here tonight in our pursuit race?
Okay, on the pole we have number 77, Jim Coffey. Number 99, Glenn Jewell. Number 10, Kenny Sellers. Number 65, Smoke Erickson. Number 45, Dick Yohe. Number 03, Lonnie Vaughn. 55, Joe 9. 58, Doc Dixon. And the fastest qualifier, number 7, Rich Rohr. We're supposed to have number 3, Bobby Allensworth, in this race, but I don't think he's going to make it.
Well, they've got the car jacked up. They're working on the rear end, Mike. They might make it here. I don't know. Okay, Ed Nelson pulling out on the pole.
Yeah, it looks like Ed put a new set of tires on too, Chris. First time. Flagman's going to give him one more lap. He wants them bunched up a little bit better. Looked like Bobby Allensworth was going to make it, Chris, but it was too late. We already had an Alden car on the track.
Well, you know, Mike, we got a lot of time involved here. We can't wait too long on these guys to get their cars fixed, so we have to go when the flagman's ready. And
looks like we're going to get the green this time. No, he don't like it yet. Going to give him one more parade lap.
They'll get the green this time around, our late model pursuit, top 10 qualifier. Mike, it's kind of unusual to see Joe 9 sitting in the middle of the pack. He normally is right up front here, or in the back here in these pursuit races, fastest qualifier.
Right, I went down and talked to Joe here between races, and I asked him what was the matter with the car. He said he poked a hole through the oil pan on one race. The transmission was acting up and his tires were wore out, but he said other than that, he's running all right. So I think he put a new set of tires on here between races, and I think we'll see Joe up in the front of the pack before too long.
Well, Ed Nelson got his Camaro really flying here in our pursuit race. Glenn Jules out. Jim Coffey riding in the second slot.
Kind of a bad break for Bobby Allensworth, Chris.
Well, it really is, Mike. Bobby's trying to get the car dialed in, but I'm sure if they had a problem, maybe they got it worked out here for the feature race, the one that really counts anyway.
Right, he'll be out here for the feature where all the money's at, so we'll be looking for Bobby probably in the top 5 if they got the car working.
Well, I'm sure Bobby can understand, you know. I imagine he's been in that position before where he was the first alternate and just waiting for somebody not to make it. Got in the race. It's a bad break, but that's what happens once in a while in racing. You got to be ready to go when the race is called on the track.
I agree, Chris. I think Bobby understood once we had the alternate on the track that he couldn't run, but he'll be back out here for the feature.
Ed Nelson really doing a good job here holding these guys back. Jim Coffey second. Smoke Erickson, Joe 9, Lonnie Vaughn, and Rich Rohr. And Joe 9 just got inside of Smoke Erickson. Jim Coffey trying to get on the inside of Ed Nelson. We got a real tight battle here. Smoke Erickson now going outside. Joe 9 not able to pass Smoke Erickson and eliminate him. So now Smoke moving on the outside, trying to get Coffey and Nelson. A real tight race here in our late model pursuit. Jim Coffey now eliminated. Rich Rohr coming up on Joe 9. Jim Coffey just barely got out of the way, I think, with a little help from Joe there, Mike. Joe didn't want to lose his spot there to Rohr.
We might point out here, Chris, to the fans that once the car is passed in this race, they're out.
Checkered flag, a real close race. Ed Nelson, Smoke Erickson, Joe 9 third, Rich Rohr fourth. One heck of a pursuit race there, Mike.
As I was saying there, Chris,
And there was cars coming on the outside, and he really didn't have anywhere to go until they got on the front stretch and he could pull on the inside. So while we're waiting here for our consolation lineup, we'll take a little break and have a word from our sponsors.
For complete professional body work for your car or truck, let the 105 years of experience at Haas Body Shop in Dover do the job for you. Complete service such as radiator, front end, frame, or painting. 24-hour wrecker service also available. Expert customizing, insurance work, and free estimates are just part of the many services available at Haas Body Shop at 140 West Broadway in Dover. Give Mike or Dave a call at 343-1311 today. For the very best in high performance or stock engine work, see the engine experts at Malquit Machine and Speed Shop on South Worcester Avenue in Strasburg. Malquit Speed Shop, builders of Howe engines, can handle all types of engine work, including valve jobs, head surfacing, engine honing, or balancing and magnafluxing. So for the best performance from your engine, see Bad Brad and his crew of engine professionals at Malquit Machine and Speed Shop in Strasburg. At Malquit Speed Shop, we run a fast track.
Our Spectator A feature coming onto the track. This will be our fastest qualifiers in the Spectator division. They'll go 12 laps. And while we're waiting on the cars to get lined up, we'll take this time out for a word from our sponsors.
Times Mirror, Tower Communications, Cable TV 2, keeping an eye on Tuscarawas County.
Okay, we're back here Midvale Speedway, our Spectator Stock A feature on the track. Number 67 is Bruce Johnston of Canton. 52, Kels Thomas. 442, Dave King. 11, Tom Swisshelm. 42, John Friedman. Some of these cars we have no identification on. New cars here again tonight. 95, Tim Hiller. 88, Doug Watson. 51, Don Sanders. 115, Gary Marinelli. And 89, Randy Dingler. Well, Mike, the way these cars have been running the last few weeks, I would say we'd have to look for Gary Marinelli and Randy Dingler in this race.
Right. I was just looking over the field here, and like every other night, Gary and number 89 going to have a lot of iron to pass. Another thing we might mention here too, Chris, the fans might notice we only have 16 cars in this feature. We divided the cars up tonight. We had 45 of these cars in our spectator class, and we ran an extra race with them, consolation event, and 2 16-car features, which I think makes it a lot better program to watch and for the drivers themselves.
Well, we might also mention this is the mid-season championship for these guys, so this is one of their bigger races of the season. And we got a nice trophy over there sponsored by Brightwood Motors. It goes to the winner for this race. So we got the green flag in our Spectator Stock A feature. These guys get a little wild out here, Mike, in our last race out here. There's a guy that just went clear out the gate. Number 67, Bruce Johnston. Oh, Dave King spins out and hits the wall here in the backstretch. You can see Dave's moving around in the car. Looks like he's all right. Yellow light is on. Our flagman wanting to make sure Dave's okay. Well, I didn't really see what happened there, Mike. Did you see Dave get hung up with anybody there?
Yeah, I think Dave got it caught in the traffic there. Coming out of the number 2 turn, you can see the track there, the marks on the track that Dave made. He just couldn't control it and hit the wall.
Well, while they're getting the cars lined up, I want to mention again, that immediately following the races, you can watch the Mr. Tuscarawas County contest, and sponsored by the Body Shack in Dover. Mike, I bet that was something to see. These guys work out all the time with all these muscles. And
right, Chris. I think you have to give those guys a lot of credit because they're really dedicated to that, what we would call pumping iron, to build themselves up to a muscle man physique. I bet it was a real nice show. Be anxious to see that.
Also, Monday night at 6 and Tuesday at 7, they'll have the color replay of the Times Reporter All-Star Charities football game, won by the East, coached by Claymont coach Jeff Jerko. They won 15-14 in a real exciting game. And also this week on TV2 here, on Wednesday and Thursday, we'll bring you 2 free days of showtime. TV worth paying for. On Wednesday night, you can see, you can have your choice of, they'll have 5 movies on: Mission Galactica, Rod Stewart, Centennial Part 2, The Great Train Robbery, and Love at First Bite. And on Thursday, you can see Centennial Part 3, the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner movie. Got hung up on that one. The Champ, The Seduction of Joe Tynan, and Foul Play. So, Thursday night baseball will be preempted this week so that Showtime can be on here with some good movies.
One comment I'd like to make on that charity football game, Chris, that's going to be replayed. The quarterback for the West team, that Jamie DeVore from Dover, is an outstanding quarterback. He's one of the top quarterbacks I've seen in high school in this area in a long time. I look for Jamie to go somewhere to play college football.
Well, on the East squad, I guess Monty O'Hara really put on a display last night. And with his running and also on his defensive ability, I guess he played an outstanding game. Okay, back to racing here. Our Spectator A feature, Kels Thomas of Denison trying to get the lead here. John Friedman spinning into the infield, coming back out on the track. He'll get out of the way here before the yellow has to come out. Gary Marinelli and Randy Dingler trying to work their way up through the pack. Kels Thomas, his first year out in racing. Kels doing a pretty good job here. Oh, we had an accident. 95, Tim Hiller, in the number 2 corner, hits the fence. The yellow light comes on. Tim Hiller losing control and hitting our fence here in the Spectator A feature. Well, these races are always kind of wild and woolly, Mike.
I didn't see what happened there, Chris. Looks like he's got part of the fence wedged into the front of his car.
Now it looks like he tore off a sheet of the bottom guardrail there. Must have hit it pretty hard.
Yeah, and when you hit this fence here, it's not like other tracks that we've been to where you go through. When you hit the fence at Midvale, you just stop. It's a well-built fence.
Also, while we have this time out, I'd like to thank tonight's sponsors: Farmer Smith's Market, Brightwood Motors, Midwest Brokering, Norris Oil Company, Speedy Auto Parts, Haas Body Shop, and the Malkett Speed Shop. And also our patron sponsor and tonight's sponsor of our trophies for our mid-season championships, Brightwood Motors. They've got a car here, and Mr. Bob James Jr. is here representing Brightwood Motors to present our trophies to our winners. They sponsored a trophy here in our Spectator A feature to our mid-season champ, and also in our late model and figure 8 division. Mike, that late model feature ought to shape up to be one of our best so far this year. Tonight in qualifying,
I think we can look for about 5 or 6 cars into running hard in that feature. But I think we have to go with the favorite. He's won our past 5 features, Joe 9. Although he didn't qualify too well tonight, we'll still be looking for Joe in the top 5.
Well, we're ready to get back here in a minute to our racing action. You know, Mike, this is our 15th race already of the evening. I just don't know where anyone can go and see more races for the money that they get here at Midvale Speedway. We got 3 more races to go, an 18 race program with a 50-lap feature for our late models. A lot of racing. And the quality of competition is really getting good here too.
That's one point I was going to mention, Chris. We've mentioned it before on past shows that the other drivers were going to get their cars figured out. And now we have, I would say, at least 5 or 6 running real close to each other.
Well, I'm sure the Allensworth crew, after working hard all week, they'd sure like to get in the winner's circle. Bobby won 3 features last year, and so far this year he hasn't been able to break into that winner's circle.
I think he's just waiting for, like tonight we have a 50-lap feature. Bobby always seems to run real well in these the bigger races. With that new car, it's kind of hard to tell.
Okay, we'll be looking for the green flag next time around. Got number 95 pulled off the track. And it looks like he did take a piece of the guardrail out down there, Mike. But there's plenty more left there for someone else to peck on.
And I don't think he hurt the car too bad either. The front end's mashed a little bit, but it could have been a lot worse hitting the fence here.
Well, Gary Marinelli's moved up to 6th spot, and Randy Dingler's 8th, so they're on the move here in our spectator feature. Kels Thomas trying to hold on to that lead. Marinelli now slipped into the 4th spot. Trying to take over for Jim Tanner. Jim Tanner there, number 188, second. Now Marinelli dives inside. They go a little high. He gets in 2nd place. Dingler now trying to come up.
A real good move by Gary Marinelli there, Chris. He got about 3 cars on that one move, so 89's getting kind of tied up in traffic back here. Might give Gary a... Now he's moving up.
Randy Dingler really making a strong move there on the inside. Marinelli going outside of Thomas. Dingler diving down inside. They might both get him here, Mike.
Got him 3 wide coming into the 3rd turn here, Chris. There's Gary coming out ahead.
Yeah, but Dingler's
right beside him.
Slingshots him inside. Looks like Dingler and Marinelli going to battle it out now, side by side for the lead. Well, this car, Dingler's, Mike, really handles superb.
And you have to give Randy a lot of credit too, Chris. He had his car, the engine claimed in his car 3 or 4 weeks ago. Come right back out here and performing the same way. So a lot of credit should go to him.
Well, the way he's running, he's liable to get another engine clean. Randy Dingler trying to run away with it here. Gary Marinelli trying to hang in there 2nd. He's kind of pushing a little hard, trying to catch up with Randy.
Seems like it works out that way every week, Chris. Gary leads the way, and then when they get to the 1-2 spot, Randy just pulls out ahead of Gary.
Well, both of them right now with a big lead over the rest of the field. Kels Thomas doing a good job of hanging on to that 3rd spot. Got a car sticking halfway across the track here. No, our flagman, I don't think from his vantage point can see just how far the car's sticking out there, but he might have been playing possum there. Looks like his car will go. Now he's deciding he's going to take off.
We're getting the white flag now, Chris. So I think you were right. He was just trying to get the race a little bit closer with a yellow flag.
Randy Dingler coming in for the checkered flag, our spectator, A feature winner and our mid-season champion here at Midvale Speedway. Okay, so Gary Marinelli finishes runner-up to Randy Dingler, which they've done about 4 times this year. And while we get the track swept, getting ready for our mid-season championship for late models, 50-lap feature, we'll take a timeout for this message.
Midwest Brokering on State Route 30 in Minerva is Ohio's leader in manufactured housing. Midwest, one of the largest mobile home dealers in the tri-state area, with modern service and warranty facilities staffed by 23 service technicians with a combined experience of over 150 years. Stop in today and see the large selection of 14-foot wide homes available for less than $9,900, which includes delivery, setup, and skirting with the cost of the home. 24-hour approval of financing, VA, FHA, conventional financing available, or as little as 5% down or possibly no down payment for qualified buyers. Midwest Brokering in Minerva, open daily 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Sunday noon to 5, and closed Wednesdays.
Back to Midvale Speedway. We're getting our 50-lap feature lined up. And while we have a minute here, we might say next week here at Midvale Speedway, we're going to have a tug-of-war contest paying, I think, $1,000 to the winning team, which is a real good prize for an event like this. And I'm not too sure about the weight limit on it. There's a certain amount of guys has to come out to
1,200 pounds.
1,200 pounds. That's the total weight of the men on the team. And I think it's going to be a real exciting event, something that's really different. And while we're waiting here for the rest of the cars to come out on the track, we'll take a break here. We'll be right back. With our pace car from Brightwood Motors, a nice looking Volkswagen Scirocco driven by Bob James Jr. We're going to get another lap here, I think, parade lap. We're still waiting on one car. Number 3, Bobby Allensworth. We had a little problem with his car earlier, but I think they've been working on the car real hard, and they're going to try to get it out here for the feature. So we'll give them a couple parade laps. Tonight's sponsors of the races here at Midvale: Farmer Smith's Market in New Philly, Brightwood Motors, Midwest Brokering, Norris Oil Company, Speedy Auto Parts, Haas Body Shop, and Malkett Speed Shop. I think we're going to have a different showing here tonight, Chris, in the feature. What do you think?
Well, Joe 9 sitting about 12th spot. Had a little problem qualifying tonight with the car. I think they've got it back under control, put a new set of tires on, so I don't know. Joe could be a hard man to beat again tonight.
There's number 3, Bobby Allensworth, coming out on the track. It's good to see him back make this feature. And I think he's going to make a difference.
Okay, on the pole we've got 33, Gary Smith, 17, Bob Shepner, 69, Brad Kreischer, 67, Tom Baker, 84, Rick Schweitzer, 74, Ed Nelson, 77, Jim Coffey, 99, Glenn Jewell, 10, Kenny Sellards, 65, Smoke Erickson, 45, Dick Yohe, 3, Bobby Allensworth, 55, Joe 9, 03, Lonnie Vaughn, 58, Doc Dixon, 67, Rich Rohr. 52, Randy Gray. 44, Kenny Vickers. 85, Terry Kaler. And number 4, Bernie Sellers. 50 times around they'll go. Mid-season championship. Sponsored by Brightwood Motors. Mike, you can look for him to really charge here in the early stages, trying to get a lead here.
I don't look for Joe to stay back too long either, Chris. Him or Doc Dixon doing a real good job in 58 tonight. I think that's the first time we've ever seen Kenny Stevens' car in the dash. Doc's got it running real well.
Well, I think the last time Doc drove it, it was in the dash. That's about the only time. All right. Green flag drops on our mid-season championship. 33, Gary Smith with the early lead. Right behind him, Bobby Shepner.
I think Allensworth's got a lot of power in that car, Chris. I kept my eye on him and Joe 9, and they stayed side by side going down the front stretch.
Bobby Shepner takes the lead. We got car spin out here in the turn.
We don't have a yellow yet. I don't know if 67's going to get it. Now we have it. We got the yellow flag.
The yellow flag comes out. 67, Tom Baker spinning in the number 3 turn. And a lot transpired in that spin out, Mike. Joe 9 lost quite a few positions.
Yeah, it looks like Joe's clear back to 10th or 12th place there. It's kind of hard to tell from here. Yeah, he's running 12th now. Joe lost a lot of ground on that spin out.
Make your car shine like a dime every time at Union 76 pit stops in Dover, New Philadelphia, or Uricksville. Why drag out the hose, bucket, soap, or scrub brush when you can let the car care professionals at Union 76 pit stops make it shine like new? The big orange Union 76 ball is your sign for assurance of the best wash job anywhere in the county. Union 76 pit stop car washes, where their motto is, if your car has dust or rust, a wash job is a must. Speedy Auto Parts, located across from Beitner Tire on North Worcester Avenue in Dover, is your complete parts supply store. Speedy features a complete line of motorcraft parts and accessories, Walker exhaust systems, and much, much more at everyday low prices. Open 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturdays. For that hard-to-find part to keep your car running in top shape, see Jeff at Speedy Auto Parts in Dover. Parking and entrance at the rear of the building.
2 laps complete. Long way to go, Mike. Tom Baker getting back in the pack here.
I think we'll get one more lap. Get Tom back in the lineup here. One guy we might mention at the back of the pack here, Chris, is number 52, Randy Gray. His first year in late model racing. He won a heat race tonight, and I think it done a lot for Randy's, how should we say it?
Well, yeah, he was a pretty good runner in our spectator division. Jumping into the late models now.
He done a real good job in that heat race that he won.
Ed Nelson's now moved into second spot. He could be a tough man to beat if he gets out front.
running 3 wide over there in the first turn. These guys are going all out. We got Rich Rohr, Kenny Sellers, and Joe 9 all in 3 wide coming out of number 2 turn. Number 74, Ed Nelson, really pouring it on. Ed doing an excellent job so far.
Five laps. 65, Smoke Erickson moving up.
And there's number 45, Dick Yohe, right behind him. Rich Rohr right behind him. So we're going to have a race here. Ed Nelson with about a 5-car lead now. Smoke Erickson on holding down a number 2 spot. And here comes Rich Rohr on the outside. Number 17. And number 3, Bobby Allensworth. Ed Nelson got a little bit loose there coming out of number 4. Smoke Erickson picking up a lot of ground on him there. There's number 45 and 7 side by side coming out of number 2. A real exciting race so far. Ed Nelson still leading, but Smoke Erickson right on his bumper. Something happened to Ed Nelson here coming out of number 2. He's pulling off the track. Smoke Erickson takes the lead. Dick Yohe in second. Rich Rohr in third. Here comes Joe 9. We had another spin out down here with number 77, Jim Coffey. We got a yellow caution flag. We're trying to get this car off the track. Number 74, Ed Nelson, he must have blown an engine or something here, Chris. He couldn't even make it around the track again.
Well, Smoke Erickson had a nice lead there till that accident. Now Joe 9, Rich Rohr are going to catch up.
A good break for Rich Rohr and Dick Yohe. They'll close them up now. Running double foul. The race is not half over yet, so they'll still be running side by side. Bobby Allensworth sitting at about, let's see, about the 3rd, 4th spot. Getting that car running real well. So, while we have a break in the action here, we'll be right back right after this break.
Through 50 years and 3 generations, Farmer Smith's Market on East High Avenue in New Philadelphia has been supplying Tuscarawas Countyans with the very best fresh fruits and vegetables daily. Our 50 varieties of cheeses plus 15 varieties of lunch meats, as well as any type of fresh fruit or vegetables always on hand. Amish baked goods, as well as cheese and meat trays are also a specialty. Farmer Smith's Market on East High Avenue in New Philadelphia, open 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. November through August. Why not be a winner this year by purchasing your next car or truck from the long line of winners from Volkswagen at Brightwood Motors? See the all-new Jetta. Its modern styling looks elegant, sophisticated, solid, and it's fun to drive. The Scirocco, a superbly comfortable car, what sports cars should have been in the first place. Volkswagen Rabbit, fuel economy at its best, 41 miles per gallon city and 55 miles per gallon highway driving. And the sleek, sporty Mazda RX-7, the perfect combination of a high-performance sports car and the ideal engine. See the star-studded lineup today. You're always a winner at Brightwood Motors on East High Avenue Extension in New Philadelphia.
Welcome back here to Midvale Speedway for our 50-lap mid-season championship. We have all the cars back in line again. Number 67, Tom Baker, dropping out. I think we'll get one more parade lap. Well, I guess we have mixed up in the lineup again. Moving Bobby Allensworth up to number 4, the 4th spot. I think the judges have a rough time when having a spin out or a wreck like this, Chris. You have to give them a lot of credit when they can get these cars all back in line where they're supposed to be at. When you have a car shooting all over the track, it makes it kind of tough on them.
Well, it really does. You have to score these cars when they're coming out of turn number 4, because if you wait till they get to the finish line, you can't ride them all down. So every once in a while there'll be a change as they get to the flag stand, and if there would be an accident, you know, you have to revert back to the previous lap. So sometimes you get a little bit of a break, and sometimes it hurts you a little bit, but that's the way you have to score the race.
It just goes to show you, Chris, it takes a team effort to put on an 18 car or an 18 race show. Just everybody has to do their part, and the judges do a real good job. Our flagman Eddie Warmack wants them bunched up a little bit better. We might be getting the green on this lap around.
Well, we got Smoke Erickson, Dick Yohe, Rich Rohr, Bobby Allensworth, and Joe 9. A 5-car battle here.
Well, we didn't call it too bad, Chris. We said before the race started it'd be 5 or 6 cars up there in the front. Right now we got 5 of them. There's one car that I think is kind of a sleeper back there, is number 58, Doc Dixon. If he could get out around these slower cars, we might have 6 in this race. We got Smoke Erickson and Rich Rohr bumper to bumper coming by the flagman. Number 45, Dick Yohe. Number 3, Bob Allensworth, doing a real good job in that new car. And number 55, Joe 9, running 5th. And number 99, Glenn Jewell, running 6th.
Rich Rohr just waiting for Smoke Erickson to make a mistake to get on the inside.
We got number 55 and number 3 side by side coming into number 1 turn. Joe trying to make his move on the inside. '65, Smoke Erickson driving an excellent race so far. I knew it was only going to be a matter of time, Chris, for Smoke. That car runs too well, and he's a top quality driver. Smoke doing a real good job right now. Rich Rohr just waiting for a little daylight to make his move, trying to come down on the inside now. We got three cars wide coming out of number 2. Number 45, number 3, and 55. Bob Allensworth doing a real good job, moving in the 3rd spot now. Car running real well for the first night out here at Midvale Speedway.
Well, Joe 9 now moves into 4th spot ahead of Dick Yohe. Joe's got a lot of ground to make up. He's going to catch Smoke Erickson tonight. Ronnie Vaughn's moving up too, Mike.
Right, Chris, he's up beside Dick Yohe now. Running about 6th. Smoke Erickson still in the lead. Rich Rohr running 2nd. Joe 9 and Bobby Allensworth side by side. Rich Rohr trying to come up on the outside of 65. Coming out of number 2, they're side by side. Rich trying to come on the outside now.
Boy, that car, Smoke Erickson's got a lot of power, Mike, down that straightaway.
Right, he's pulling away from Rich, which like Joe did on Bob Allensworth. They were running pretty good.
Lap car in the way here. Rohr has to lay back a little bit. Joe 9 now coming up strong. Bobby Allensworth, Dick Yohe, and Lonnie Vaughn.
With a little more than halfway to go, Chris.
It's first part for Rich Rohr, Mike. He blew a tire again.
Blew another tire.
Blew a tire.
A bad break for Rich Rohr. That's the 2nd time this year And I think it was the same tire, wasn't it, Chris?
Yes, it was. Now we got Smoke Erickson, Joe 9, Bobby Allensworth. The yellow light's going to have to come out now as Rich Rohr has to stop.
Boy, that's
in the number 1 turn. A bad break for Rich Rohr again.
And a bad break for Smoke Erickson, Chris, because we're not, I don't think we're halfway yet.
No, we're not.
Joe 9's going to be running right beside him. I mean, he must think the black shadows of Transylvania is sitting right beside him.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike, Rich Rohr was really putting the heat on. We were in for one of the best races we've had all season. Tough Luck's hitting Rich again with a left front, flat tire. They can get her in the pits real quick and change tires. He'll be right back out here. But he'll have a long way to make up.
A real bad break for Rich Rohr, Chris. Like you say, I think this is going to be one of the best races we've had so far this year. There's Joe 9 sitting in the 2nd spot, though, winner of her past 5 features.
The surprising car sitting there, Bobby Allensworth. That car is really running good. He ran side by side with Joe 9 there for about 6 laps. Car just not handling quite right. Looks like it might be pushing a little bit going into the corners. But boy, when they get this machine to handle, he's going to give them fits.
He's just running unbelievable, Chris. First night out for the car, first time on the track. And not taking anything away from Bobby, but they've done a heck of a job setting that car up before they got here to the track. Sitting in the 3rd spot right now. And this makes how many weeks now we've had new cars here. It just seems like every week we have a new machine out here.
Well, with 6 rainouts, this is our 6th night of racing. This is in 12 weeks' time. We've only got in 6 events, but we've had a new car here every night.
And they've done an excellent job on the car, Chris. I went down and looked at the car, and they've done everything in the car is done A1.
Well, you know, we talked to Bobby before. He was running his Chevelle, which was a 112-inch wheelbase car running against these 108-inch wheelbases, and he was really more or less outclassed a little bit, and he was upset that he couldn't do a little better. Now he's got a machine that I think he'll be a top competitor.
And another thing, Chris, we might mention here that Bobby has a lot of help from his dad and his brother Jim, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, is going to have a car out here himself within the next few weeks. But and then his pit crew also. Those guys work awful hard. They worked late hours all last week trying to get the car running. They've done a real good job.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike, this car is out on the track tonight. This is Jim's car. Jim is the owner of the car. They've still got Bobby's Chevelle they're going to keep for a backup car in case anything happens to this one. They want to be able to come racing. And I'll tell you, these guys like to race. They're here every Saturday night, unless it's just absolutely impossible. You've got guys like Bobby and Joe 9 and Smoke Erickson, Lonnie Vaughn. I don't care what happens. They're here on Saturday night to run.
Well, that's the name of the game, Chris. The guys want to race. They have to be here every week. And that's the way it is.
We've got a car hung up in the exit down there, Mike. They had to send a wrecker down there. So I can't see from here who it is. Somebody pulled off the track and they had to push him out of the way down there. I think everything's cleared off the track now. We can get back to business at hand here. And this is going to just be a super race all the way through. I think they might have a tire back on Rohr.
We got the car running again, Chris. He's still on the hook over there. They're trying to change that tire before.
Give me number 2 on that. Give me 2. Oh! Hey, Larry, get off there a minute. Let's call us out, will you? Dial 2, Mike.
They got Ridge Roar's car running again. They got a tire on it. I think he's going to make it back out here, but he's got a...
over here. Looks like the link to the roar. Gotta go.
He's got a long ways to go.
All right, he's moving. Let's get him going.
I think we're going to get one more lap. Here comes Rich Roar back out on the track.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike, he's just lucky. He's just lucky that there was a car stuck in the exit down there. He's never made it back out for this race before we got a lap in. The conditions were dangerous to have a car stuck down there. That means no one can exit the track, and you just can't race under those conditions. Also, Roar trying to move up to the front. There's no way possible for him to run up front. He will have to go to the rear.
No, I think our pit steward, Dean Miles, has got the situation under control. Rich Roar's going to have to go to the back of the pack for coming off of the track. So,
well, like I say, Mike, he just was lucky that there was a car down there. Give him a break that he needed, get back in the race. So Rich could be back in the thick of things here before the race is over.
well, he's got a long ways to go, Chris. And we got 3 real top runners at the front, 4 top runners at the top front of the pack. He's got a long ways to go. We got one more lap from our flagman, Eddie Wormack. I don't know what the problem is now. Our flagman wants them bunched up a little bit better. I think we're going to get the green this next time around the track. Number 65, Smoke Erickson on the pole. 55, Joe 9. Number 3, Bobby Allensworth. Number 45, Dick Yowie. 03, Lonnie Vaughn. We got the green flag. Smoke Erickson wastes no time. He wants to put a lot of daylight between him and number 55, Joe 9.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike, Joe goes high. Allensworth could sneak inside here.
Yeah, he's got to watch what he's doing there, Chris. He's worrying about Smoke Erickson in front of him. He's got Bobby Allensworth right behind him. Here comes Joe on the outside now. Cut back in. There's Dick Yowie running up in the 4th spot. 03, Lonnie Vaughn running 5th. And here comes Doc Dixon, the number 58 car owned by Kenny Stevens. Smoke's doing a real good job so far, Chris. He's not going to make any stupid mistakes, I don't think, unless the car breaks. He's driving an excellent race. Here comes Joe on the inside, trying to make the move on the inside. Couldn't quite make it. 65, 55, and 3, running real good.
Number 17 getting in the way here a little bit. Has to move to the outside, let these guys go by.
He does just that, Chris. He moved out of the way. Joe 9 trying to get the nose in on the inside again. Right on Smoke Erickson's bumper coming out of number 2. Bobby Allensworth running real strong. A real good race, Chris, real good. There's Joe 9 moving on the inside now. Up to Smoke Erickson's door.
Yeah, he just didn't quite have enough. Get up there. Smoke cut him off a little bit. Real tight race here now. Allensworth trying to go outside of 9.
Smoke Erickson still in the lead. Trying to put some daylight between him and Joe 9. Here comes Joe, bumper to bumper. Just waiting on Smoke to make a little mistake, and he's going to move up. Here comes number 45, Dick Yowie, moving up beside Allensworth now. Looks like Smoke's going to get some more traffic here, Chris. They're moving over in good shape. Here comes Joe on the outside now. Just coming up on the outside now. There's Joe. Right on the back of Smoke Erickson's bumper, number 3, Bobby Ellsworth, moving up real close now. 45, Dick Yohe in 4th. 03, Lonnie Vaughn in 5th. Number 99, Glenn Jewell blows the tire, moved into the infield.
Smoke Erickson doing a real good job, Mike. Holding that inside groove. He says, Joe, you're going to pass me. You're going on the outside, buddy. You're not getting me on the inside.
Smoke doing an excellent job of driving tonight. Joe trying to move on the outside again. Now he's cutting down inside. 65 moves out towards the fence. Driving Joe out. Bobby Ellsworth trying to make his move on the inside. Smoke's just got too much for him down the straightaway, it looks like. Joe's catching him in the turns, but he just can't get by him.
33 laps. This will be 33 laps. Smoke Erickson, Joe 9, Bobby Ellsworth, Dick Yohe, Lonnie Vaughn. We've got a battle on our hands.
There's Rich Rohr in 6th place again, Chris, moving all the way up from the back. We got a spin out down here. I couldn't see who it was. Joe coming up on the outside again. Now he's trying to slingshot him.
Swing him. He might have him this time, Mike.
He's got him coming.
Not quite enough.
Too much horsepower coming down that straightaway for Big Smoke.
Oh, he might get him missed. No. Smoke just got his nose back in time.
Smoke.
Joe 9 really frustrated, trying to find a way to get around Smoke Erickson.
Smoke Erickson doing one heck of a job tonight. Driving that number 65 car. It was just a matter of time for Smoke. Looks like Joe's pushing it a little hard, Chris. This front brake rotors are red hot coming into number 3 here. That's the first time I've seen Joe push it that hard.
Bobby Ellsworth trying to move up on Joe 9. Dick Yohe and Lonnie Vaughn holding in there tight. Rich Rohr. Now
Joe on the outside. Joe getting right beside it. No. Smoke's got too much for him coming down that straightaway. Bobby Ellsworth moving in beside Joe now. A real close race. First 3 positions. Here comes Joe on the outside. He's side by side coming out at number 4. Coming down the front stretch. That slow car is going to mess him up, I think.
Well, it sure did, Mike.
He's still beside him, though, Chris.
Ellsworth now ducking down on the inside.
Joe lost a lot of valuable ground with that lap car, Chris. Trying to slingshot him again.
One heck of a race we got on our hands here.
Smoke Erickson doing one heck of a job. He's doing a real good job driving tonight. Bobby Ellsworth moving down now to the inside. There's Joe on the outside again. Moving side by side. Smoke didn't pull away from him this time. They're side by side coming out of 2. Smoke Erickson still running first. Joe 9 trying his hardest to get by him. Coming out of number 2, Smoke Erickson, still our leader. 55, Joe 9. Number 3, amazing Bobby Ellsworth with that new car. We can't say enough about it. Joe 9's brake drums in the front are red hot, Chris. This is the most I've ever seen Joe push in the turn. They're side by side again now, coming out of 4. I don't know. Smoke pulls out again. Side by side. Bobby Ellsworth making up a lot of ground into the 3rd spot. Joe better watch his moving. He goes to the outside. I don't know. There, he's trying to slingshot Smoke Erickson again. He can't do it.
Ellsworth now dipping down on the inside. Joe makes a bad move. He could lose a spot here.
There's Rich Rohr back up to 5th again. I would say Rich Rohr, one of the fastest cars out here right now, Chris. He's made up a lot of ground since that last restart. There's Joe trying to...
Number 4 getting in the way here a little bit.
Bad move there by number 4. He should have moved to the outside. He cost Smoke a lot of valuable ground there. I think he could have pulled ahead of Joe there a little bit, Chris. There's Joe back on the outside again. But coming down this straightaway, it don't look like he can do it. He's made up about a half a car on Smoke. He's running out of laps. Joe's running out of laps. Smoke Erickson doing one heck of a job.
Joe's tried high, he's tried low, he's tried everywhere. He can't get Smoke Erickson, but he's knocking right on the door, and if Smoke makes one mistake, this race is history because Joe is right there to take over.
I don't know, Chris. It looked like Smoke got a little bit
White
loose.
flag coming out, white flag, one more lap. Smoke Erickson, Joe 9, side by side. Can he hold on? Smoke Erickson trying to stop Joe 9's string.
What a race, Chris. What a race. Smoke Erickson still in
Checker
first.
flag this time, Smokey Erickson. He's going to do it, Mike. He snapped his streak at 5. Smoke Erickson, Joe 9, Bobby Allensworth, Dick Yohe, Rich Rohr. What a race we had. You could never watch a better race than that, Mike.
I can't agree more, Chris. This is without a doubt the best race we've had here at Midvale Speedway in a long time. Not just this year, in a long time. Smoke Erickson doing an excellent job. We can't say enough about it.
Well, Mike, you might attribute that to the tires he was running. You know, Smoke's still running those experimental tires, but, you know, they've got a lot of laps on them. Joe bolted on a new set of rubber tonight. Smoke's still running the ones that he ran in 100 lap before.
I think we found our tire, Chris, for next year. Like you say, Smoke ran 100 laps with them. And then I think that was that the last race that he ran?
Yeah,
tonight. Yeah, that's right. We got rained out last week. So he's got 150 laps on there, and he was still running strong. He kind of anxious to see what those tires look like, Chris, after, say, 200 laps.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike, they sure stuck to the track good because Smoke had to stick on the inside because if he just slipped a little bit, Joe 9 was there. They did a tremendous job, and I think Smoke did one heck of a job driving that car tonight. Smoke won 2 features last year. He's one of our better drivers, and I'll tell you, he's a clean driver, a good race, and Joe 9 doesn't need to feel bad about losing that one. I mean, of course, it's always tough to come in second, but man, he just had a heck of a fight there with Smoke Erickson. Tucks back in behind Greg Gallagher. Ronnie Vaughn, our leader. Ed Nelson, second. Greg Gallagher from Bowerson, third. Red Evans, fourth. Joe 9 moved up now, challenging Smoke Erickson for the 5th spot. Red Evans slipping in there, something on the track. Car spinning everywhere. Yellow light comes out. Evidently, Mike, somebody lost something on the track. Nobody could see it.
Yeah, right, Chris. From our vantage point here, it looks like maybe water on the track coming all the way around over here to the pit entrance.
Right here, number 6. Greg Gallagher seems to be losing something out of his machine here. I don't know whether it's water or oil. Our track man, Dean Miles, here, going to check the car out here with Greg. Well, they're going to push it in the pits. The way it's smoking there in the front, Mike, looks like it might be water.
Yeah, it looks like the radiator, Chris. The way it looks right now, it's water on the track, which won't take too much to clean that up. We'll be back racing again.
Well, they'll bunch all these cars up now. Again, same as was in our 50-lap feature last week. Rich Pika had a real big lead in our feature when the yellow light came on. Now, Joe 9 will be able to move up in a little closer here. Lonnie Vaughn will kind of lose that big lead he had. Might make this a different race now, Mike.
Yeah, right, Chris. Another car we can look for here, too, is number 64, Red Evans. This might be a break for Red.
Well, Red's up into the 3rd spot now. He's got that car handling beautifully. Real fine-looking car, white and blue. Red Evans, been about 5 weeks now. He's going to have the car here, and every week he experienced another minor problem, and finally got it all together with a little help from his buddy Ron Hoopengarner. They had it up in his shop there all last week. So Red had a lot of help here from his buddies.
Yeah, right, Chris. Another thing here, I think the fans should know what a real good job that Red Evans does building cars. I would say that Red has a hand in probably 75% of the cars that come here. He's a real good car builder.
Yeah, one thing, old Red's been around here a long time, and he knows how to put a car together. He also knows some of the finer tricks that maybe a few of these other guys don't know about.
Yeah, right. I think that's one advantage that Red has over the other fellows is that he knows the ins and outs of just about anything on the car.
Well, while we've got a little break in the action here, might mention some of tonight's sponsors of our cable TV 2 races. Midwest Brokering from New Philly, Norris Oil Company and the Pit Stop Car Washes of New Philly, Dover, and Uricksville, Speedy Auto Parts of Dover, Allensworth Amoco in Uricksville, Farmer Smith's Market in New Philly, Brightwood Motors in Brightwood, the Haas Body Shop in Dover, and Malkett Machine and Speed Shop in Strasburg. Again, we might mention our director tonight is Mike Savillo. On the camera is Brian Young. I'm Chris Talati, and with me is Mike Percone, bringing you exciting racing action here from Midvale Speedway. We have a couple of big events coming up here at Midvale Speedway. Saturday night, July 5th, our annual Firecracker 100, which will be running 2 50-lap feature segments this year, with our late model division running the total purse of somewhere near $7,500. Also that evening we'll have our big wheel race for the kiddies ages 4, 5, and 6, with the overall winner to receive a $800 scholarship at the age of 18. We also have our $1,000 tug of war coming up July 26th. That ought to be an interesting feature. We have 14 teams entered right now. There's a 1,200-pound limit per team, as many men as they can get on a team under that 1,200-pound limit. They can get them in there, and right now we have a team from Elizabeth, New Jersey entered with 7 guys on the team. So they say they're not big, but they're mighty, so we'll have to see how that turns out. Our track crew here putting the finishing touches on the racetrack. We had water come from Greg Gallagher's machine. A couple more laps here, we'll be ready to go with our late model heat. 8 cars still remain, Mike, out of the top 9. The only one to drop out was Gallagher, and Joe 9 and Rich Rohr are still at the back of the pack. I'd say it's going to be awful tough for one of them guys to win tonight.
Yeah, right, Chris. They're running out of laps here. The way Lonnie Vaughn's running right now in this Chrysler product, looks like he might pull it out.
Our flagman signaling one more lap. He wants to make sure the track is safe. So they'll go around one more time, bunch him up, and get the green flag. This is our late model fast heat, the top qualifiers of the evening.
One added event we have here tonight at Midvale Speedway is Kiddies Night, where all the kids in the grandstand get to take a ride around the track with their favorite driver.
Well, as you can tell by the crowd tonight, Mike, it's a real big thing with the kids, because I think this is one of the better crowds we've had this year. Back to racing. Lonnie Vaughn, still our leader. Ed Nelson second. Red Evans. And Smoke Erickson now dipped on the inside of Evans. And Smoke's trying to take over that third hole, Mike.
Yeah, we got a good race here going between Smoke Erickson and Red Evans here, Chris.
Well, I don't know if Ed Nelson seems to keep slipping in the corner. Smoke Erickson going to lay back here and go inside for second place and set his sights on Lonnie Vaughn with only 1 lap left to go.
I don't know, Chris. It looked like Lonnie Vaughn got the black flag over there. Well, look from here.
It looked like that's what came out. Lonnie may have been running over his time.
Yeah, that's the way it looks, Chris. Assistant flagman Bill Barnes is giving Lonnie Vaughn the black flag, which means he's running over his qualifying time.
Yes, he did. And Ed Nelson hung on for the win. Him and Smoke Erickson tangled up here in the third corner. But it looks like Ed Nelson hung on to win. We'll have to check here with the officials and find out what happened there. But Lonnie Vaughn was definitely black flagged. And it could be, Mike, that he ran over his qualifying time.
Yeah, usually, Chris, in a race like that, when they give the black flag to the leader, he's running over his qualifying time, which disqualifies him from the race.
Well, our pit steward here, Dean Miles, just gave us the indication that that's what the problem was. Lonnie Vaughn was running over his qualifying time, so the heat race will be awarded to Ed Nelson of Canton. And evidently Ed don't know that he got the checker flag. He pulled it in the pits. So that's our late model fast heat of the evening. We'll take a little break right here, and we'll be back right after this.
At Brightwood Motors on East High Avenue Extension in New Philadelphia, we pride ourselves on both service work and parts availability. Service Manager Gary Seymour and Parts Manager Lowell Youngin serve as an unbeatable combination to keep you happy as well as your car in top running condition. Customers are important to us, which is why we go the extra mile to please you. So, for service work or parts you can count on, see the automotive experts at Brightwood Motors in New Philadelphia. Through 50 years and 3 generations, Farmer Smith's Market on East High Avenue in New Philadelphia.
Car is out there.
Right.
All right, our flagman didn't like the start that time. They'll bring him back around again. He holds out the caution flag. Cars are too strung out. He won't give them a start until they get tucked in behind one another. Some of the boys are a little anxious there to get this race underway.
Yeah, Chris, and I think a good start in this race is very important because every inch counts. Once a car's passed, he's eliminated from the race. So our flagman, Eddie Warmack, wants to make sure that everybody gets an equal chance.
Well, too, Mike, if they get too strung out, then they come all flying in there. If they don't get the green flag, and sometimes they can cause a serious accident there in this race here. Okay, Kenny Sellers, our 10th fastest qualifier on the pole, right behind him, Ed Nelson. They'll get the green flag this time around. And we have a race. Kenny Stevens getting a little squirrely there in the first corner, but got it under control. The object of this race is to pass the man in front of you. Once you pass him, he's out. All the cars, nobody's made a move yet. Red Evans, our first casualty to be eliminated. Red Evans in the number 64 car. In the back of the pack, we got Joe 9 trying to eliminate Rich Rohr. 9 cars still left. Kenny Sellers, our leader.
Yes, Chris, number 10, Kenny Sellers, running real well right now.
Well, Kenny's getting a little high. He's going to have to watch that coming out of number 2. Going to have to stick down inside a little better if he wants to win this race.
I think we might have a problem with number 2 turn there, Chris. The car's getting a little high there. They're getting a little squirrely.
Ed Nelson dips inside. Kenny Sellers went high, trying to eliminate him. Into the corner, Sellers hanging in there. Well, there's daylight now. Sellers is out of the race. Ed Nelson now our leader with Greg Gallagher now in the second spot. Bob Allensworth now eliminated. Rich Rohr trying to take over Lonnie Vaughn. Can't quite get around him. Kenny Stevens holding back Vaughn. Lonnie Vaughn now eliminated. Now we only have 5 cars left. Rich Rohr taking out Kenny Stevens. Now we got a 4-car battle. Ed Nelson, Greg Gallagher, Rich Rohr, and Joe 9. Now Mike will have to see if Joe can make up any ground on Rohr here.
Yeah, he's got a lot of room to run here now, Chris. If he don't run out of laps, we'll look for Joe to make his move.
Greg Gallagher also running real well in there in the second spot. He's got the car handling good tonight.
Yeah, right. I think this is the best we've seen Greg run this year. He's handled the car real fine.
White flag's out. Looks like Ed Nelson's going to pick up his second checker flag of the evening. Rohr went to the outside groove. We'll see if he can get second. Gallagher trying to hold him off. To the checker flag. The battle's for second. And Rich Rohr is going to take it over from Greg Gallagher, which is a bad break for Gallagher, Mike, because that makes Joe 9 third, being that Gallagher got eliminated before the flag stand. So Greg Gallagher will get fourth. Our winner, Ed Nelson. Second, Rich Rohr. Third, Joe 9. Our top 10 qualifiers, and our winner is Ed Nelson from Canton.
Yeah, Ed Nelson doing an excellent job here, Chris. First night out for the car, and this makes his second checkered flag of the evening. We might expect something from him in the feature. Well,
it looks right now like he's got the car handling pretty well. Ed's no rookie to racing. He raced many years at the Canton Motor Speedway before it closed. So Ed's been around a lot, and I think he raced at the Barberton Speedway, so he knows how to put a car around the racetrack. Might want to mention right here while we're waiting on the cars to line up for our late model Consi that this is our biggest crowd on a regular Saturday night program in 10 years. There's approximately 2,000 people over there, Mike, and I think maybe this kiddies night thing of getting all the little kids riding the stock cars brought the people out. All the little kids telling mom and dad, hey, I want to ride in that car.
Yeah, I think so, Chris. It's kind of hard to see over there in the stands with all this dust blowing around, but we have a real nice crowd.
Well, Ed Nelson pulling off the track now. We're ready for our late model consolation event. The top 4 finishers in this race go into our feature. So this is a big race for these guys. Most of these guys coming out here are in their rookie season. We have a few veterans out here. Maybe the guys got to work the bugs out of the cars, but most of these guys are new to the late model division this year.
Tonight's lineup for the consolation event: number 67, which is Tom Baker of Bolivar. Number 97 is Bill Seal, Scio. Number 44, Kenny Vickers. It's kind of hard to see these cars coming out of the turn down here. I'll give you the rest of the lineup here as soon as I can see who they are. And it looks like number 77, Jim Coffey. Number 71, Jerry Picknett of Canton. Number 85, Terry Kaler of Bolivar. Number 8, is that 18 or, yeah, number 18, Randy Scheffler of Tappan Lake. Number 41 is Kerry Smith. And number 11, Bill Bittaker. Number 27. And
that's Boyd Gum, Mike. He was just first out last week.
Yeah, right. And number 78 is Keith Cope of Denison. And number 4, Bernie Sellers. That's our lineup for our consolation event. The top 5 qualifier or finishers in this race will go into the feature. Flagman Eddie Warmack giving him another parade lap, give Bernie Sellers a chance to catch up with the rest of the pack.
Well, Mike, we got a real big field of cars here tonight. Over 91 cars in the pit area. In our late model division, we had over 30. So these cars are really starting to come out in numbers, and we've got a lot of fine-looking racing machines out here this year. These guys put a lot of time in these cars and a lot of money. So we've got a real good racing program here every Saturday night.
Yeah, right, Chris. It's surprising. It seems like that every week we got 5 or 6 more cars in each division, which puts on a real nice show for the race fans here at Midvale Speedway.
Our late model Consi, this should go 15 laps. Top 4 finishers into our feature. Green flag is out. And Randy Gray, who is a rookie to this division, last year coming from the spectator stocks, has got a lead early here in our late model Consi. Kenny Vickers moving up pretty quick here. Started in between cars to take over Bill Seal in second place. Tom Baker's in third with Seal fourth. Jim Coffey in the number 77 moving up into fifth. Randy Gray, not too familiar with that corner, went a little high again. Kenny Vickers dipped inside. Gray getting spun out there by Bill Seal. Got his back end cocked a little bit. Seal got under him. Bad break for Randy Gray. Kenny Vickers, our leader in the Consi. Bill Seal going a little high. Jim Coffey battling for the second spot. Bill Bittaker moved up all the way to fourth. Terry Kaler fifth.
Well, I think we got a grown engine here, Chris, the number 27 Boyd Gunn's car. He hasn't stopped yet, but we've got a lot of smoke blowing out of the back end of the car.
Bill Seal spinning into the infield. Tangled up there with Jim Coffey. Yeah, I think you're right there, Mike. It looks like Boyd's losing something there, and they just told him to get off the track. Halfway home, the cross flags, white and green, mean halfway. So we'll have about 7 more laps to go in our late model Consi. Jim Coffey now in the second position. Coming strong on Kenny Vickers. Bill Bittaker and Keith Cope now moving up. Very important to finish in the top 4 in this race. Might mean a lot of money later on in the night, Mike. Jim Coffey now right on the bumper of Kenny Vickers. Trying to go outside now. Coffey going in that second groove.
Coffey doing an excellent job here, Chris. In the number 77 car, trying to take Kenny Vickers on the outside. The number 2 turn, he didn't make it.
They're still running side by side. Jim Coffey, Kenny Vickers. We've got a real race here. Bill Bittaker third, Keith Cope fourth. Terry Kaler still fifth. The white flag is out. 1 more lap to go. Can Kenny Vickers hold him off? Randy Gray here, getting in the way, should move outside for him. Jim Coffey trying to sneak ahead. The 2 cars tangle up. Kenny Vickers going to come away with the consolation victory. Jim Coffey will hang for second. Bittaker barely by third place. And Keith Cope finishing fourth. We had only a bumper-to-bumper finish here with Bittaker and Cope. Well, it's kind of a bad break here for Jim Coffey, Mike. He was making his move on the outside and just happened at one of the slower cars. Randy Gray was in the outside groove and was nowhere to go, so Coffey and Vickers tangled up, and just lucky enough for Jim, he got it back under control to finish second, so he'll work his way into the feature.
Yeah, right, Chris. Jim done an excellent job of keeping the car out of the fence. Him and Kenny Vickers tangled up here coming out of number 4 turn, and he done a real good job of keeping the car under control.
So, Kenny Vickers, Jim Coffey, Keith Cope, and Bill Bittaker will move into our feature. We'll be back with more racing action from Midvale Speedway on TV2 right after this.
This year by purchasing your next car or truck from the long line of winners from Volkswagen.
Our late model feature event is lining up, ready to come out on the track for our 30-lap late model feature. And as the cars pull out, this is Chris Talati along with Mike McCone, our director Mike Savillo, our cameraman Brian Young. And Mike, you want to give us a lineup for tonight's feature?
Okay, Chris, on the pole will be number 75. Usually driven by Dave Eric. Second place, number 25, Tom Smith of New Philadelphia. Number 84, Rick Schweitzer of Barnhill. Number 68, Ron Hoopengarner of Denison. Number 03, Lonnie Vaughn. Number 74, Ed Nelson of Canton. Number 6, Greg Gallagher. Number 58, Kenny Stevens of Stone Creek. Number 64, Red Evans of Uricksville. Number 3, Bobby Allensworth, Tappan Lake. Number 65, Smoke Erickson. Number 7, Rich Rohr of Canton. Number 55, top qualifier, setting a new track record tonight, Joe 9 of Leesville. Number 44, Kenny Vickers. Number 77, Mike Dawson of Carrollton, who's not driving the car tonight, driven by Jim Coffey. Number 11, Bill Bittaker. Number 78, Pete Cope. And that's our starting lineup for tonight's late model feature.
Okay, Mike, our starter, Eddie Warmack, looking over the field. Looks like one more lap and we'll get the green flag on our feature event. Ronnie Hoopengarner, Mike, sitting up there in the fourth hole. Hoop's been running pretty good here the last couple weeks, and if he could get a break here early and get out in front without any caution flags, he could be a hard man to beat also.
Yeah, right, Chris. If he could get a break like he did in the other 50-lap feature that we had, he got about a half a track lead on everybody. If he could get that break tonight, he might win this feature.
Okay, our flagman signaling one more lap. It must be something on the track that he doesn't quite like, so he'll let him go around one more time before we start this feature event. Might mention some of our preliminary winners tonight. In our late model division, our dash was won by, as you've seen here on TV, was won by Rich Rohr of Canton. Heat winners were Jim Coffey of Delroy, Boyd Gum of Akron, and Ed Nelson, the winner of our fast heat from Canton. Our pursuit winner was also Ed Nelson, and our consolation event in late model division went to Kenny Vickers of New Philly. 30 laps will go around here in our late model feature event. This is our first regular racing program of the year, having been rained out 4 times in 7 weeks. So these guys are really itching to run here tonight. And the green flag is out. Tom Smith, New Philly, trying to take the lead. Smith and 75 Radanovich tango in the number 2 turn, but they split apart. Now Tom Smith has the lead. His bumper hanging down a little bit in the back end. Ron Hoopengarner's moved up in the 2nd spot. And 74, Ed Nelson really making a strong effort on the outside. Hoopengarner slipping on the inside. He could take the lead this time around.
Yeah, we got a car out of the race already, Chris. Number 78, Keith Cope of Denison. Looks like the engine's overheating.
Yeah, bad break for Keith. We just got the race underway and he had a little problem. He's finished for the evening. Ron Hoopengarner stretching the lead out here.
I think that's the break Hoopy was looking for, Chris. He's building the lead up on these faster cars at the back. He just might pull this off.
Well, looks like the faster runners are all bunched up in the back of the pack. Lap number 4. Ron Hoopengarner, still our leader. Kenny Stevens trying to move up to 4th in a battle with Rick Schweitzer. Joe 9 has moved up in the 9th position with Rich Rohr right beside him. A lot of room on the inside. Joe's going to be able to make up some ground. Five laps to go, complete. Joe 9's now moved up in the 8th position. He's really flying tonight.
There's that number 74 car too, Chris. just about ready to take over second position. He's running real well.
Well, Ed Nelson now moves into second position. Tom Smith on the outside. Hoopengarner, lap number 6 with a big lead. Ed Nelson now in second. Bob Allensworth moving into 5th spot behind Kenny Stevens. And Joe 9 now in 6th with Roar right on his bumper. Lap number 7, our leader, Ronnie Hoopengarner. Joe 9 now on the outside of Allensworth, trying to move up into that 5th spot. 8 laps in. Hoopengarner still in the lead. Nelson, a strong second, trying to close the gap. Tom Smith, Kenny Stevens, Bob Allensworth, and Joe 9 having a battle for that number 5 spot. Joe 9 trying to go outside of Kenny Stevens, battling for that 4th position. Mike, Joe's really flying again tonight.
You know, what can we say about number 55, Chris? At first, we didn't even think he was going to race tonight. Then he come out here and set a new track record. Now he's coming into the 3rd spot. Hoopy better put under the floorboards if he's going to stay ahead of number 55.
Number 74 now moving up on our leader, Ron Hoopengarner, the 68 car. Eddie Nelson trying to take over that number 1 spot. Nelson just looking for a place to go. Hoopengarner putting a lap on number 11, Bill Bittaker. We got 68, Hoopengarner, 74, Nelson. Joe 9, Rich Rohr now moving up.
The way it looks right here, Chris, number 68, Ron Hoopengarner, just got too much power for Ed Nelson and the 74 car coming down the chute.
Well, it looks like Hoopy's got enough power to hold him off, but I don't know if either one of them can hold back Joe 9 and Rich Rohr, as those two have really moved up now. And we've got a 4-car battle here for the number 1 position. "13 laps complete. Ron Hoopengarner, Ed Nelson, Joe 9, Rich Rohr in a battle. 9 slipping inside, and Nelson. Joe 9's going to take over second position. Rich Rohr's going to sneak in right behind him for that 3rd spot. Joe 9 dipping inside Hoopengarner. And Ronnie just couldn't hold it down in the number 1 turn. Now we got Joe 9 with Rich Rohr moving into second. And we've got the battle we've had 3 previous nights, Mike. Rohr and 9. Do you think Rohr's got enough car to take him tonight?
No, I don't think so, Chris. Joe 9's got the lead now. I don't think anybody's going to take it away from him unless the car fails him. So I have another feature win here.
I don't know, Mike. Looks like down the straightaway, Rohr might have a little more power than 9. I don't know. We'll have to see. 15 laps complete. Joe 9, Rich Rohr, Ron Hoopengarner, Ed Nelson, Tom Smith hanging on the 5th. Kenny Stevens and Lonnie Vaughn battling out now for the 6th spot.
Looked like Rich Rohr coming in out of the number 4 turn there. Chris lost control of the car there for a minute. Joe picked up some valuable ground on him.
Well, Rich might have tried to push it a little extra hard, knowing that Joe 9's out in front of him here, knowing he's a hard man to catch. But they're running into a lot of traffic now, and we'll see which guy can maneuver the best here. Joe 9 moving up on Jim Coffey to put him a lap down. Rich Rohr moving up.
Something we might point out to the fans here, Chris, in this situation where the lead car comes into the slower cars, the flagman plays a big part of his running with the passing flag, telling the slower cars that the leader is coming by them.
Oh, we've got a blown engine in number 4 corner. Oil on the track, car spinning. Kenny Vickers slides in the oil of Kenny Stevens and hits the fence. So the yellow flag is out. Kenny Stevens slowed down coming down the backstretch. Looked like there was something wrong, then all of a sudden, oil come flying out from underneath. So Kenny Stevens must have expired his engine here. That'll bunch the cars up, give Rich Rohr a little bit of a chance here to close the gap on Joe 9, Mike, and We'll just have to see if he's got enough power. It looked to me like Roar might have enough smoke here to get by Joe.
Yeah, right, Chris. This might be a completely different race now that these cars will be bumper to bumper coming in for the start. We'll just have to kind of watch and see what happens here.
Well, with more than half the laps in of this race, Mike, the race will be started in single file, so Rich Roar will be right on Joe Nine's bumper here on the start. Looks like maybe something's wrong with number 11 out here. Bill Bittaker's crawling under his car here on the backstretch. Checking it out here. Might have a little problem with it. I don't think Kenny Vickers hurt his car too much, just that the oil's all over the turn, number 3 turn. When he went in, hit his brakes, he just slid. There was nothing he could do. Kenny's just lucky that he didn't hit the fence any harder than he did.
Yeah, right. He hit the oil out of the number 58 car, Kenny Stevens, and just about went into the fence.
Okay, while the track crew is cleaning up the oil, we'll take a little break right here. We'll be back with more racing from Midvale Speedway right after this.
For complete professional body work for your car or truck, let the 105 years of experience at Haas Body Shop in Dover do the job for you. Complete service such as radiator, front end, frame, or painting. 24-hour wrecker service also available. Expert customizing, insurance work, and free estimates are just part of the many services available at Haas Body Shop at 140 West Broadway in Dover. Give Mike or Dave a call at 343-1311 today. For the very best in high performance or stock engine work, see the engine experts at Malquit Machine and Speed Shop on South Worcester Avenue in Strasburg. Malquit Speed Shop, builders of Howe engines, can handle all types of engine work, including valve jobs, head servicing, engine honing, or balancing and magnafluxing. So for the best performance from your engine, see Bad Brad and his crew of engine professionals at Malquit Machine and Speed Shop in Strasburg. At Malquit Speed Shop, we run a fast track.
Only should have to take a couple quick laps through it to blow the dust off the track. The cars have been relined up. Whenever a caution flag comes out during a race like this, if the whole lap, all the leaders haven't went across, the judges will revert back to the previous lap for the lineup. So wherever the cars were running lap previous, that's where the judges put them back in. They score each car as he goes across the finish line. Each judge writes down each number of each car. It's a pretty tough job keeping track of these guys all the time, but you have to have a quick pencil over there. He's Charlie Jones, the famous mellow tones from TV2, does a fine job along with Al Dunn. And the announcer, Don Wagner, also helps him keep these cars in order. Our pit steward, Dean Miles, is out here on the track explaining to Jim Coffey where he goes in the lineup. I would imagine, Mike, he's telling Jim on the restart, you're a lap down, so pull over and let these guys go by that are still in the race with only 8 laps to go.
Yeah, right, Chris. And then we have a car that came into the pits, and consequently this is not a championship race, so he is disqualified from the race. So he'll have to come back off the track.
I believe that was the number 75 of Dan Radanovich. You are not allowed, like Mike said, to pit on a regular weekly racing basis. On our championship events, we do allow them to go to the pits for any minor repairs, but on a weekly event, unless they're told, Mike, by the flagman, or I think they tried to pull off a switch of drivers there, Mike. It looked to me like Dave Arrett was in that car now, and he didn't start out in it.
I think you're right, Chris. We commented on that just before the feature started, that Dave Arrett wasn't driving the car when it came out for the feature, and then when it came back into the pits here, they switched drivers, which automatically would disqualify him. Even if the flagman had told him they could come in, that would disqualify him from the race.
We have 14 cars left of an 18-car field in our 30-lap feature race. Flagman Eddie Warmack giving him the signal to bunch up. We're going to get the restart. 8 more laps to go. We've got a real battle. Joe 9 in the 55, followed closely by Rich Rohr. And those two have been dueling it out all season long here. They'll get the green this time. Joe 9, our leader, Rich Rohr, chasing him.
I think we're going to have a different race here now, Chris. There, Rich Rohr give Joe a little bump coming out of the number 2 turn.
Well, it looked like Joe bumped down a little bit, and Rohr was ready to go. Kind of give him a little love tap there. Kenny Sellers has moved up into the 3rd position in the number 10 car.
I just don't think that number 7 car, Rich Rohr, has enough under the hood there, Chris, to get past 55 Joe 9.
24 laps complete. Well, it seems like Rohr goes into the number 1 and 2 corner better than 9, but 3 and 4, Joe seems to pull away again. We've got a battle in the back of the pack here for 3rd place. Ron Hoopengarner, Ed Nelson, Lonnie Vaughn now moving in, trying to take 3rd place. Nine and Rohr still in a close duel here. Lonnie Vaughn in the 03 now moves into 4th place. Ron Hoopengarner in the 68's in 3rd. Looks like Mike 9 and Rohr's kind of playing a cat and mouse game here, seeing if somebody's going to make a mistake.
Yeah, I think you're right, Chris. Rich Rohr's just waiting on Joe 9 to make a mistake there to see if he can get by him, but I was just going to mention that even though Joe's in a different car this year, he seems like a completely different driver too. You didn't see Joe driving like this previous year.
1 lap to go. The white flag comes out. Can Rich Rohr trying to dive down on the inside, but 9 cuts him off. Rohr now going outside. Rich Rohr going to put on a strong challenge here, trying to duck down on the inside, but it's going to be Joe 9 for the 3rd straight time, and Rich Rohr for the 3rd time in a row in 2nd. Ron Hoopengarner hangs on for 3rd. Lonnie Vaughn 4th, Ed Nelson 5th, and Smoke Erickson finishing in the number 6 spot. Might also mention, Mike, that Red Evans, in his first time out this year, finished in 7th position. And I think if Red gets a few of the bugs worked out, he might give these guys a real way to go here. That car really handles around this track.
Yeah, right, Chris. And the car looks real good. And it surprises me that there's no dents in the car yet this year. I think in a couple weeks we'll see Red in the top 5 anyway.
Well, I think you're right, Mike. And I also have to comment here as Joe 9 takes his parade lap and checkered flag that we've had one great racing program here tonight. Over 91 cars in the pits. And I'll tell you, Mike, I don't think if you travel around any of the racetracks in the state of Ohio, I don't think you'll find any better racing than you find here at Midvale Speedway for only a $4 admission for adults, $3 for students, and $1 for kids. You just can't beat what you get for your money here at Midvale Speedway. I
agree, Chris. We've been about all over the eastern United States watching racing, and including down in Florida for the Daytona 500. And the racing we have here at Midvale just can't be beat.
Okay, our Spectator A feature coming onto the track right now. We have 2 more races on tonight's program. Our Spectator A feature, which is lining up now, and then our crazy and wild figure 8s. Okay, number 69 on the pole here in our Spectator A feature, being driven tonight by Jack Baker of Dover. Okay, while we're waiting for the rest of the cars to come out of the pit area, for Cable TV 2 here, we'll take a little break for some of our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Through 50 years.
For our spectator. Welcome back to Midvale Speedway for our final event of the evening, the figure 8 feature. On the pole, 111, Mike Egerton. Number 11, Bob Swan. Number 2, Gary Rose. 42, Jack Ripley. Number 5, Larry McMillan. In the 83, Bill Coventry. 101, Jerry Adkins. 17, Louis Vickers. 19, J.R. Ridgway. 606, Carl Enos. 21, Richard McKim. Number 3, Ray McKim. 000, Johnny Wiseman. Number R1, Roger Cole. 31, Ben Gibson. In our final car, number 350. And I don't have any identification on him. It's a new car out tonight. So, 15 laps will go on our figure 8. And Mike, we've had a full night of racing. It's 5 minutes to 1.
The people got their money's worth tonight, Chris. Shouldn't be any complaints about the quality of the racing either. We've got a fine field of cars here in the figure 8 feature.
We had a total, what, of 21 figure 8 cars tonight, Mike?
Yeah, right. We had 21 figure 8 cars, I think 43 spectators, and over 30 late models in the pits tonight.
Yeah, the pits here tonight were kind of crowded here. A couple of the cars come in a little late. Around 7:30, had a hard time finding a place to park. Lou Vickers being changed to the rear of the pack, being that he won last week's feature event. The previous week's winner always goes to the tail end for the following week. So Lou Vickers being moved back. And our flagman, Eddie Warmack, now getting the rest of them lined up. We'll be ready to go here with our figure 8 feature. I think really, Mike, holding up the show this late, we'd have been done an hour and a half ago if it wouldn't have been for the fact that we gave the kiddies a ride tonight in the stock cars.
Yeah, right, Chris. And another thing was the 2 accidents that we had, that the ambulance had to leave the track, which delayed the races for a while. But the die-hard figure 8 fans are still over in the grandstands, and they want to see this race.
Well, I'll tell you, there's quite a few fans left for this. It's an exciting race. These cars get strung out. There we go. And that red light will not come on unless there's a very serious accident. On the 111, getting off of the course already and getting hung up on the tires, Mike Egerton. Number 11, Bob Swan with the early lead. Bob, he won a couple of our figure 8 features last year. Right behind him, we've got Smiling Jack Ripley from Janaton. And Jack's always a tough man to beat out here in this figure 8 competition.
Chris, question that came to my mind, and maybe some of the race fans, I don't know if you can answer the question or not. How many figure 8 tracks are there in, say, in our area here in northeastern Ohio?
Well, to my knowledge, there's only one other figure 8 track, and that's at Paynesville. That's up around the Cleveland area. So this is really something unique in stock car racing. There's not too many tracks that have these figure 8s.
I think that's one thing that makes it a little more exciting too, is that you can't go just anywhere and see a figure 8 race.
Well, this is true, Mike. Jack Ripley really pulling out to a lead here. Some of the cars are holding back here. The Had a couple cars come close there at the intersection. Bob Swan still in second. Gary Rose and Bill Coventry. I see J.R. Ridgway's moved up to about 5th place, Mike. He won our feature here a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, right, Chris. I think JR is one of the better drivers that we have in our figure 8 division. I think if JR had a ride in, say, our late model division, he could do a fine job.
Well, we had 3 cars spinning down there. We got cars spinning now across the X. Bill Coventry going the wrong way. Well, you got her back off the track. Boy, Bill could have been sitting in a real tough spot there. We got another spin here. 2 cars tangled up over here in the first turn. John Wiseman and Ray McKim. Jack Ripley with a real big lead now over Bob Swan, and J.R. Ridgway's now moved into 3rd spot. We're going to need a little break here for JR to get up close. Somebody's going to have to hold Jack up here at the X here.
Yeah, he made it through there. It's going to be kind of tough for JR to catch up to Jack in this particular race.
Well, JR just moved into 2nd place, Mike. Number 3 is a lap down. He's coming up to put a lap down on number 350, so JR's moving pretty good. Last week he came in 2nd. The week before he won. JR has always been noted to stay out of trouble, and he could catch up here with Jack.
This would be a good time, Chris, to tell the fans that just because these guys are running in the figure 8 division, they still have to have a lot of driving qualifications to go through these turns and to do the racing that they do.
Well, I see Lou Vickers now, our last week's winner, moved up into 3rd spot now, and he's right on JR's bumper here, trying to get on the inside of him here. So Ripley may have a tough way to go here in the end if JR and Lou can pick up some ground. JR pulling out a little bit now ahead of Lou. And I see Ripley's had to slow down a little bit already from the running into traffic there at our intersection. Only one more lap to go though, Mike, and he's really held up now, and JR's going to really close the gap.
Yeah, right, Chris.
JR moving all the way up now. It's going to be a real close finish now. Jack Ripley, JR Ridgway, Lou Vickers. JR going to try to get on the inside of him here. Jack Ripley is going to take home our checker flag, his first this year in our figure 8. J.R. Ridgway couldn't muster up enough speed to catch him, and Lou Vickers hung on for 3rd. So in a pretty close finish, what started out to be a runaway by Jack Ripley, some of the cars in traffic holding him up, J.R. Ridgway closed the gap.
Dylan, the number 11, this is the first time out, I think, this year in this car. He had his, but he's driving in the number 11 car here tonight.
All right. Jack Ripley's in the number 97. Jack Ripley trying to take on the lead in the 97 car. Car usually driven by Bill Steele, and Jack Ripley's driving tonight, trying to help Bill out to find out if he can get the car to handle a little better. There's something on the track. Flagman brought out the yellow light.
I think he threw the yellow flag there, Chris, for 75 Chunky there. I think his left rear fender is mashed into the tire. Yeah, he's calling for a wrecker now, so I guess that's what it is.
Yeah, it looks like it from here. That car usually driven by Dave Arrett, and tonight Dan Radanovich, also known as Chunky, as we call him around here, he's trying to drive it himself there, and he got a little trouble. This is an important race for these guys. First 4 finishers get to go into our Firecracker 100. So this means a lot of money to these boys. Might want to make a mention too about the number 52 car out there. Mike's got a special paint job on it there.
Right. Number 52, Randy Gray, put a new paint job on it this week and calls it the Pink Panther.
I think that's one of the few pink cars we've ever had run here.
That's what I was getting ready to say, Chris. I think one thing these guys are doing this year, taking a lot better care of the cars. Usually this time of the year, at this point in the season, they look like they've been through the war, but these guys are taking real good care of the cars.
Well, I think that most of the guys have a lot of pride in their cars, and even though some of them don't really run that good, you know, and they're just starting out, they like to keep them looking nice, look like race cars. You'll notice on the NASCAR tour, there's not too many cars that are battered up. Those guys take good care of their cars.
Yeah, I think that means a big thing to the driver too. Even though, like you say, he don't run that well, he likes to keep his machine looking real nice.
Well, Dan Radanovich happened to come off the track on a wrecker, so looks like that ends Chunky's hopes tonight of getting in our feature event. Usually one of the top running cars here when his driver Dave Arrett's here, but Dave evidently has had to work the last couple of weeks, so the car will be out of action the rest of the night. While we've got this little pause, we'll remind you again that our races will be replayed Monday night at 8 o'clock and also Wednesday at 8. Also Monday night at 6 o'clock will be the replay of the Nathan Hutton Parade. And again this week we have Thursday night baseball. We'll have a doubleheader. At 7:30 we have Philadelphia versus Chicago. And at 10:30, Houston and Los Angeles.
While we have a break in the action here, Chris, we might mention that the sponsors of tonight's Firecracker 100 is the Low Dollar Man in Yerkesville, Ohio, Hill and Littleton Ford. And presenting the trophies tonight will be their #1 salesman, Bob Green, also of Yerkesville, who helps us out here in the tower.
Well, we always like to say a special thanks to our patron sponsors and all of our sponsors for sponsoring the races here on TV too. Bringing you this exciting action, something kind of new to television. There has never been too much coverage of auto racing, only on a big time scale, and I think when it gets right down to it that this really is your basic auto racing throughout the United States. There are thousands and thousands of short tracks, and this is where the guys get their experience to go on to the bigger tracks. A lot of fine drivers here at these tracks. Some of these guys probably could step in one of those cars if they had the money and do all right, but it takes a lot of bucks to run on that big circuit.
One of the performers here at Midvale Speedway that's on the NASCAR circuit, Bobby Allison, won the Firecracker 400 at Daytona yesterday.
Yeah, Bobby's having a good year. All right, the green flag flies, and Jack Ripley jumps out to the lead. Mike Gillen fighting Kerry Smith for that second spot, and Kerry goes a little high. Gillen gets inside him.
Jack Ripley in the number 97 car is a real surprising guy, Chris. He can get in any machine, it seems like, in the pits, no matter what division it is, and make the thing go around the track.
Well, this is true, Mike. You know, Jack's always been a real good competitor here at Midvale Speedway, one of the better drivers around, and if you give him a good car, and I think he can do it. Got a spin out in the second turn. Randy Gray and Terry Kaler locking him up, brings out the yellow light.
I see Jack, he's got his boy Todd Ripley in the figure 8 division now, breaking him in. I think he wants Todd to follow in his footsteps in the racing game.
Well, he was involved in a minor accident there this evening, but came out of it and won his heat race. So Todd's picking up where his dad left off. Terry Kaler needing assistance from our push truck.
We see the number 33 car coming out of the turn there, Chris, coming into the pits now. This is his first night out here at Midvale Speedway this year. He had a car last year, but The one he has this year looks a lot better.
Well, he's got a real good-looking machine there. Gary Smith from New Philly. Trying to work a few bugs out of the car. He didn't make it in time to qualify, and he had to take scratch in this race, and he had some problems earlier, but Gary's always here on race night. We get back to action here. Jack Ripley and Mike Gillen will be fighting it out for the lead. Kerry Smith and Tom Smith. No relation. One from Barberton, one from New Philly, Farmer Smith Market. Our top 4 cars right now, and only 8 cars left. Everybody's got a good chance of making one of those features yet tonight.
Yeah, I think Mike Gillen in the number 11 car is doing an excellent job tonight. I think he drove the car maybe a couple races last week, but he's doing real well tonight, sitting in the 2nd spot right now.
Well, the car owned by Ron Jayberg. I think they sold the car tonight. This will be the last night that Jayberg owns the car, and I hear a rumor in the pits that Tim Johnston will be driving that car. And if you remember a few years back, Tim won quite a few features here at Midvale Speedway, and he's always one of the better performers. So we might just find out how that Mustang can go around the track.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see Tim back in action here. He was a real good driver a couple years ago when we had the super late models running here.
Well, Tim's kind of been hanging around the track for on and off the last couple years, trying to pick up a ride, so I think now he's found one. We may see him get in the winner's circle a few times.
I think that's the same with all these late model, super late model drivers. They come down here and see what a nice show these late models that we have put on. They get the bug and they want to get back into action.
Okay, we got the green flag again, and Mike Gillen trying to take the lead on the outside from Jack Ripley. Jack's hanging in there, side by side into the turn. Gillen noses him out, going into 4th corner. Mike Gillen takes the lead in our late model Consi. Brad Kreischer spinning down into the infield. Jack Ripley hanging in there tough. Tom Smith now putting on a charge for the lead. We got a 3-car battle here.
I think this is the best that number 25 car Tom Smith has ever run, Chris. He's doing a real good job here.
Well, he really wants to get into that feature, Mike. Jack Ripley doing a good job holding it in there. Mike Gillen going a little sideways down the front stretch. Gets it back under control. He lost it there for a minute, Mike, and looked like he was going to go into the wall.
Yeah, just as he was coming past the flagman there, it looked like the car got a little bit loose, but he got it back under control coming into the number 1 turn.
Farmer Smith now in the 2nd hole, trying to go outside, take the lead.
Boy, smart. Farmer Smith's really putting on a charge here, Chris. He wants in that feature bad.
Mike Gillen having a hard time with that car, Mike. Pushing on him bad. He's all over the place. There he spins again.
Just from the way the car looks, Chris, it looks like it might be the tires. The tires were breaking loose and coming into the turn.
Well, Mike is pushing a little hard into the corner. Jerry Pinkness spinning out in the 4th turn, but gets it back under control in time to get out of the way. Mike Gillen, Farmer Smith trying to take him on the outside. Farmer Smith trying to take the lead here in our late model Conti.
You couldn't ask for a better race, Chris. It's bumper to bumper here in this consolation event. These guys act like they're going for all the marbles.
Well, Farmer Smith takes over the lead now. Looks like Gillen goes down the straightaway a little better, but Farmer Smith handles in the turn. Kenny Vickers hanging in there 3rd right now, and Kerry Smith in the 4th hole.
It's nice to see Farmer Smith getting that car working, Chris. He comes out here every Saturday night. Finally, he's got the thing working.
All right, Tom Smith, our late model Consi winner. 2nd, Mike Gillen. 3rd, Kenny Vickers. And 4th, Kerry Smith. So those will be the top 4 cars into our late model feature. And they'll run in that first 50 lap firecracker that we'll have here coming up. So, while we pause, get the cars ready for our 50-lap first leg of our Firecracker 100 for tonight's races. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more racing right after this.
Midwest Brokering on State Route 30 in Minerva is Ohio's leader in manufactured housing. Midwest, one of the largest mobile home dealers in the tri-state area, with modern service and warranty facilities staffed by 23 service technicians with a combined experience of over 150 years. Stop in today and see the large selection of 14-foot wide homes available for less than $9,900, which includes delivery, setup, and skirting with the cost of the home. 24-hour approval of financing, VA, FHA, conventional financing available, or as little as 5% down or possibly no down payment for qualified buyers. Midwest Brokering in Minerva, open daily 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Sunday noon to 5, and closed Wednesdays. In these days of expensive gasoline, oil, and car maintenance and repair, see the people you can trust. See the car care experts at Allensworth Amoco on Macaulay Drive in Uricksville. Allensworth features Amoco's full line of gasoline and oils, and if your car isn't running quite right, try Amoco's famous premium unleaded. From our gas pumps to our shop, we keep your car running like a top. Allensworth Amoco on Macaulay Drive in Uricksville.
The cars are on the track lining up for our first leg of the Firecracker 100. This will be our first 50-lap feature. On the pole, 99, Glenn Jewell. Outside of him, number 17, Bobby Shepner. 84, Rick Schweitzer. Number 4, Bernie Sellers. 74, Ed Nelson. 77, Jim Coffey. 58, Kenny Stevens. Number 3, Bobby Allensworth. Number 10, Kenny Sellers. 6, Greg Gallagher. 03, Lonnie Vaughn. Number 7, Rich Rohr. Number 45, Dick Yohe. 64, Red Evans. 65, Smoke Erickson. 55, Joe 9. 25, Tom Smith. 11, Mike Gillen. 44, Kenny Vickers. And getting ready to come out on the track here, number 41, Kerry Smith. That's our lineup for our first leg of our Firecracker 100. This will be a 50-lap feature. And Mike, Joe 9, Rich Rohr. It's been that way all year. Starting, Joe's in the 16th hole. Rohr sitting about 12th. It's a long way to go. Of course, we got a lot of laps.
Well, I think it's going to be a completely different story tonight, Chris. The cars that Joe and Rich have in front of them tonight are running a lot better than they have been in the past weeks. I think it'll be a good race.
Well, we've got Bobby Allensworth. He's been getting better every week. He's sitting up in 8th spot. The car can really fly. You've got Greg Gallagher sitting there, Kenny Sellers, Lonnie Vaughn. These guys can all fly, so it could be a real good race.
I think number 74, Ed Nelson, sitting in the 5th spot right now. You might give them a run for their money in the early laps of the race.
Well, last week, 2 weeks ago, Ed won a couple of our races on this first night out, so he might have his machine ready to win one of the big ones here. Got a real good crowd here tonight at Midvale Speedway, the best crowd we've had so far this year. Right after this race, we'll have our intermission, and the big wheel race really seems to have brought the people out tonight.
And I can see right now the kids are up against the fence, getting ready. They're raring to go. They want to get out there.
Well, real fine turnout of cars here tonight at Midvale. We've had 99 cars in our pit area. Biggest turnout of the year. And these cars just keep coming out every week. We've got somebody new. I don't know. We could end up being here till 3 in the morning some night if we don't get a break a little bit here and get rid of a few of them.
I think that every week we have a different car here. Just like tonight we had number 33, another new car. And I thought there was one more we had tonight that wasn't here last week.
Right now, our drivers being introduced, getting in their cars. As soon as the announcer, Don Wagner, gets them all their recognition to the drivers here, they'll get in their cars and fire them up, and we'll be ready to go with our 50-lap feature. So while we're waiting to get underway, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back after this message. Okay. Okay, all the drivers in their cars, started them up. We're ready to move here on our 50 lap. First leg of our Firecracker 150. And Mike, I think we're going to have a real good race here in this first 50 lapper.
Yeah, and the way they finish this first 50 laps is the way they start the second. So they're at it. The guy that wins this race has had a big advantage.
Well, it's very important for a guy to stay out there and run as many laps as he can, finish up as far as he can, even if he's having a slight problem, so that he can get in the pits and during the intermission he can work on it and get it back out there in time to get a good spot for that second 50. Really, I think we've got a lot of hot iron up front, but we got to look for Joe 9. That car is just running super. Fastest qualifier again tonight. Winner of 3 features in a row. And he's going to be the man to beat.
Right. Joe turned the time in tonight of 16:10, which is flying around this track.
Coming in for the start, our flagman, green flag, on our Firecracker 100. Glenn Jewell and his Mustang taking the early lead. Right beside him, number 17, Bobby Scheffner. I see Bobby Allensworth and sparks coming from Rich Rohr to car number 7 down the front stretch. Rohr with a problem.
Looks like Rich's got a broken A-frame there, Chris, from our vantage point here. Or a flat tire. He's got a flat tire.
Yellow light comes out, yellow light. And the cars are still moving pretty fast. Our flagman, Eddie Warmack, felt that Rich Rohr could take the car on off the track, but wasn't able to do so, so the yellow light comes out.
I guess
if it's just a minor problem, Mike, Rich can get the car in the pits here and get it back out. So, without losing any laps here, if they can work on it real quick, if it's something minor, Rich can get it back out here on the track. I'm sure that they'll try to get it back out and finish as far up as they can for that next 50-lap race. Real tough break for Rich Rohr, one of the top competitors here.
Well, the way the sparks were flying out in the back of the left front wheel, Chris, it looked like he might have broken A-frame or something. Maybe it's just a flat tire, and he was hitting the brakes there, and the wheel was making those sparks. It's kind of hard to tell from here.
I see Bobby Allensworth, number 3, has moved his Chevelle into the number 5 position he is now. So Allensworth putting on a strong challenge here early in our 50-lap race. He's moved up 3 spots already.
Seems like it every time we have a big race like this, Chris, Allensworth's right up there in the running. I don't know what it is. It just seems like these big races bring it out in him.
Well, Bobby's a tough competitor. He likes competition. And he'll be in there. Kenny Sellers has also moved up. And I see Ed Nelson's dropped back a little bit. He must have got tangled up in the traffic here. Having a little problem getting Rohr on the hook here.
Flagman's giving him another lap.
Well, it looks like Rich is going to be out of this race for all the purposes, but he may get her back out here and try to get some laps on it, see what was wrong with the car. 2 laps complete. Our leader, Glenn Jewell. Looking for the green flag this time. Glenn Jewell, Bob Shepner. And we're back to racing. Glenn Jewell jumping out to the lead. Jim Coffey wasting no time jumping in the second hole. Trying to move on the inside of Jewell now.
It's nice to see Glenn Jewell running so well, Chris. He's one of the hard luck drivers here at Midvale. Looks like he's got his number 99 Ford Mustang running pretty good right now.
Jim Coffey diving on the inside, going to take the lead from Glenn Jewell. Jim Coffey, our leader, lap number 4. Kenny Stevens now moved up in the 5th spot with Bobby Allensworth in 6th. Jim Coffey leading after 5. Oh, we got cars tangled up on the front stretch. Kenny Stevens, Bernie Sellers, Bob Shepner, all tangled, and we got a big wreck in the back. Oh, Red Evans' car.
Oh, my God. Looks like Red Evans' car, Chris.
Red Evans got tangled up. Tom Smith lost the sheet metal off his door. Kenny Stevens was moving on the inside of Bob Shepner and Bernie Sellers, and the 3 of them locked horns. Red Evans had nowhere to go. Into the wall he goes, and it looks like Red's car is just a mess, Mike.
Yeah, right, Chris. Bad break for Red. Well, it looks like they've done the job on that thing.
Well, sometimes it's just a matter of minor sheet metal, but it looks like Red hit the fence pretty hard. It looks like Red might be done for the evening. A real tough break for Red Evans.
We just got a report from the pits there, Chris. The only thing that happened to Rich Rohr was that the tire went flat, and the car dropped down on the track. That's where all the sparks were coming from. He's going to put another tire on it and try to get back out here.
Well, he'll be about 3 laps down when he comes out. It's going to take a little while here for Roy King Auto Wrecking and his crew here to get things untangled and get the track back in condition. Looks like somebody lost water or oil or something on the track. That could be what happened to Red. And there's Rich Rohr coming back out on the track. So we'll be ready to go. So as soon as we get everything under control here, we'll try to get a report here on what happened there with Kenny Stevens, Sellers, and Shepner. So while we got a pause in the action, we'll take a break right here. We'll be back with more racing from Midvale Speedway in our Firecracker 100 right after this.
For complete professional body work for your car or truck, let the 105 years of experience at Haas Body Shop in Dover do the job for you. Complete service such as radiator, front end, frame, or painting. 24-hour wrecker service also available. Expert customizing, insurance work, and free estimates are just part of the many services available at Haas Body Shop at 140 West Broadway in Dover. Give Mike or Dave a call at 343-1311 today. For the very best in high performance or stock engine work, see the engine experts at Malquit Machine and Speed Shop on South Worcester Avenue in Strasburg. Malquit Speed Shop, builders of Howe engines, can handle all types of engine work, including valve jobs, head servicing, engine honing, or balancing and magnafluxing. So for the best performance from your engine, see Bad Brad and his crew of engine professionals at Malquit Machine and Speed Shop in Strasburg. At Malquit Speed Shop, we run a fast track.
Feature action. The car's out there right now trying to run some of the oil dry off the track. Number 44, Kenny Vickers, got a hole in his oil pan and dropped oil all over the track. I think Red Evans must have been following him and got into it. our other cars that were tangled up, Kenny Stevens, Bob Shepner, and Bernie Sellers all back in action. So we've got 16 cars back on the track, Mike, out of 20 that started.
I think it's going to be a little tougher, though, Chris, even though they do have a little dry on the track. The track, number 1 and 2 turns, I think, still going to be a little slick for a few laps. We've got one car stalled over there by the flagman, number 74, Ed Nelson. We don't know what the problem is over there.
Well, they had a little dispute of where he fit into the lineup at, and I think they've got it straightened out now. He's talking to our flagman, Eddie Warmack. Trying to make sure that our track conditions are safe here before they continue racing. And Mike, Rich Rohr, after having that flat tires, back out on the track, but unfortunately he's 3 laps down.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Rich to make that up, Chris. He'll just have to try to do the best he can in this 50 and then come back out in the next and see what he can do.
I was talking to Joe Nine earlier, and he told me that in the heat race his car was running a little hot. It was running 240 degrees, and he was a little worried that he might not be able to make 50 laps. They're really working on the Red Evans machine here in the pits. I see the welders down there now trying to get him ready to get back in this race. Bad break for Red Evans. Okay, our flagman bunching them up. We're going to get the green flag this time around. We've got 5 laps complete. Working on lap number 6. They'll go 50 times around. Jim Coffey, Delroy, our leader. And Bobby Allensworth now is tucked in the 3rd spot. All right, we're back to racing. Also, too, Mike, you might mention Joe Nine's moved up into the 8th spot now.
Right, I think he's going to make his move here real quick, Chris. The iron he has in front of him, I think he can put them away pretty easy.
Joe Nine slipped a little in the corner and lost ground.
That's what I was saying about that number 1 and 2 turn there, Chris. It looked like it's still a little bit slick.
Bobby Allensworth and Dick Yohe, last year's champion, moving up. Dick Yohe really moving strong now, 2nd spot. Bobby Allensworth 3rd. Joe Nine now moved back up into 6th spot.
Jim Coffey doing a real good job here, Chris. That car's surprising here tonight.
I see Smoke Erickson really making a move on the outside now too, coming on strong. Nine laps complete. That outside corner, number 2, is a little slippery for these guys.
Dick Yohe in a number 45 car is running real well. About the best I've seen it run this year, I think.
Well, Lonnie Vaughn trying to go outside of Greg Gallagher. Now Joe Nine snuck in there.
Joe Nine moving into the 5th spot now.
Jim Coffey. Dick Yohe battling for the lead. 12 laps complete. Jim Coffey holds on over Dick Yohe. Joe Nine now trying to get the 4th spot. Lap cars moving in the way now, holding up our leaders. "13 laps in.
Number 3 car, Bobby Allensworth, looked like he's running real strong down the straightaways, but he can't keep it in the turn.
Well, yeah. You're right, Mike. He's really motoring down the front stretch.
Joe 9 moved into the 4th spot now. Running strong.
Well, I think Dick Yohe could ever get in front of Coffey. He might be able to get out there and get in the lead. Jim Coffey doing a real good job tonight, driving that car. 16 laps complete.
You can tell by the smell in the air, Chris. You can smell them old brake shoes burning. These guys are really must be hitting the brakes coming into these turns. Some of the brake drums are red hot.
Joe 9 now putting a strong challenge on Bobby Allensworth on the outside. We've got a 4-car battle for the number 1 spot.
Joe 9 keeps surprising us every week, Chris. He started 16th. He's up to the 3rd spot right now in lap number 20. Took him 20 laps to get into the 3rd spot. Moving in on number...
Moving in now. Looks like Joe's trying to wait for a spot on the inside, Mike.
I think him and Dick Yohe both are just waiting for Coffey to make a mistake, and they're going to go by him, I think. The Coffey's driving a real good race right now.
We got a 3-car battle bunched up. Jim Coffey, Joe 9, Dick Yohe for the number 1 spot.
Joe 9's moved into the 2nd spot, moving on the number 1 car. Coming in number 4 turn, Joe's putting a real strong move onto him. Joe's taking the lead. It's amazing, Chris, what Joe's doing to this car this year. It just seems like he's unbeatable.
Joe 9, now our leader, 23 laps. Dick Yohe now taking his car to 2nd groove, trying to get that number 2 spot. Joe 9 trying to stretch his lead here. Dick Yohe now moved into 2nd spot. Got a slow car on the inside, Mike.
Yeah, Ed Nelson's holding him up there a little bit, Chris, but everybody got by him. Good shape.
Ronnie Vaughn and Bobby Allensworth now battling for the 5th spot.
Joe 9 doing a fantastic job.
Mike, Rich Rohrer, after coming out of the pits, he seems to be moving real well. Trying to get up through the pack now.
Rich is running real well, but I think he's still 2 or 3 laps down. I'm not sure. He's trying to better himself for the start of the next race. Well, that right front brake drum of number 65 car, Smoke Erickson's red hot, Chris.
Well, Mike, Smoke's now moved into the 4th spot, and I think that car's really moving around that track. Now moving into 3rd spot. Jim Coffey, something wrong with his car, pulling out of the race.
Hey, that's too bad for Jim. He was running real well about the first 19 or 20 laps. I think he surprised everybody.
You got a car spun out on the front stretch. 41, Kerry Smith. Spinning on the front stretch.
I don't see a yellow flag yet, Chris. He must be off the track over there.
Well, I don't think our flagman will let it go too long with him sitting there.
Yeah, there we go. We got the yellow flag.
All right, the yellow flag comes out. Well, this will give all the drivers a chance to catch up on Joe 9, Mike. I know Dick Yohe, once he got around Jim Coffey, he's moving real well. And I don't know, he might have enough smoke to catch Joe. Smoke Erickson also come up through the pack. He's really flying. Bobby Allensworth hanging in there, so we've still got a race yet.
I wouldn't want to venture to say, Chris, what Joe 9's going to do here. That car is just running unbelievable.
Well, the thing is with the car, Mike, it's like we've said the last 3 times we've been on here. He can put that car anywhere he wants to on the track, and that's the name of the game, you being able to handle out here. There's a lot of guys out here who's got enough motor to stay with him, but when they go into turns, Joe's leaving them sitting, so they're going to have to find out how he does it. And I'm sure that some of these guys will figure it out in one of these weeks. It's going to be hard for Joe to catch up.
Sponsors of tonight's 100
complete. 16 more laps to go. Joe 9, Dick Yohe, Smoke Erickson, Bobby Allensworth, Lonnie Vaughn, Greg Gallagher, all still in the same lap.
Now the flagman's giving them another lap here. They're still kind of strung out back in the back. I don't know, our pit steward's here having a conversation. Maybe we have a misalignment here somewhere.
Well, it looks that way, Mike. Our flagman, Eddie Warmack, there getting down off the stand, telling number 58, Kenny Stevens, go to the rear for some reason.
Yeah, we must have something wrong. Eddie's out on the track now. "15
cars still on the track out of our starting 20.
Still getting another parade lap from the flagman. We had a misalignment in the back of the pack. Our flagman, Eddie Warmack's lining them up now. Probably have to give him another lap here. Oh, he's getting Kenny Stevens out of the car for some reason.
Well,
there must be some type of an argument there. I haven't seen Kenny get upset like this before. He's talking to the flagman there, pointing towards the back of the pack. We don't know what's going on yet.
Well, I'm sure as easy going as Kenny Stevens is, that we must have a little misunderstanding here, something wrong in the lineup, or Kenny wouldn't be out of his car. Our flagman checking it out with the judges upstairs. Only one car in between Joe 9 and Dick Yohe, that being Tom Smith, and he's being lapped down. As soon as they get the green flag, he'll move over and allow Dick Yohe to pass. And we could have a race on our hands, and Smoke Erickson sitting right in there behind Glenn Jewell. Glenn also a lap down. He'll have to move over. And Smoke's running real well at this time. This race is far from being over, Mike. A lot of things can happen in 16 laps.
16 laps to go. Joe 9 sitting in the driver's seat. Like you say, number 45, Dick Yohe. He'd like to put on a charge as soon as they get that green flag. Because I think if Joe gets one revolution of the track on him, he's going to be in trouble. I think he'll try to get it coming down the straightaway. We'll just have to wait and see.
Okay, they've got the lineup straightened out.
I think this will be a final parade lap. Then we'll be back to racing. Something else we might point out here too, Chris, is it's just too bad Rich Rohr had to get that flat tire there in the early part of the race. I think he'd be right up there real close to the lead, if not in the lead.
Well, I think you're right, Mike, because once he got back on the track, he seems to be, well, we haven't seen him run along with Joe 9 yet, but he's really moved up, so he could be a contender in our second 50. Green flag, back to racing. Smoke Erickson. Dick Yohe trying to move up now.
Tom Smith must not know where he's at, Chris. Should move out of the way there. There he moved out of the way there for Dick coming down the backstretch. He held Dick up.
Well, Joe seems to be slipping a little bit in the corners. And here comes Smoke.
Smoke Erickson moving up to third place now. He's running real well. We can't count Smoke out of this race yet, Chris. Like I was saying there, Chris, before the restart, if Joe got one revolution of the track on these guys, he was going to be tough to catch. He's got about a 6 or 8 car lead on him now. So Smoke Erickson coming up, trying to take the number 2 spot over.
Kenny Stevens and Ed Nelson spinning in the infield. Smoke Erickson on the outside of Dick Yohe, battling for that second spot. Rich Rohr now moving up in there. I don't know, Mike. It looks to me like Smoke's got the fastest car. Oh, and a fire! Greg Gallagher! His car exploding on fire! The red light comes out. I can't tell. It looks like maybe he hit the fire extinguisher. He's out of the car. Greg Gallagher's car just igniting down the front stretch, and we had a ball of fire. Well, I bet that was something.
That just shows you, Chris, they got that automatic fire extinguisher in there. All they have to do is pull a pin, and that lets that fire extinguisher go. He had that fire out real quick.
I'll tell you, Mike, I've seen a lot of cars catch on fire with their brakes. But I'll tell you, that car just went in flames totally. And if it wouldn't have been for that onboard fire extinguisher, Greg Gallagher would have been in serious trouble.
I agree, Chris. And the way it looked like it come out from underneath the car from our vantage point here. I don't know if it was the brakes or not.
Well, I couldn't tell either, Mike, but it looks to me like it had to be a little more than that, the way the car exploded. I mean, that thing was on fire. Usually your little brake fires will just start up a little bit and you'll be able to see it confined to one area, but I saw flames under the whole bottom section of that car. Greg did a real good job just getting it under control and getting it out without getting hurt. So while we're waiting for our track crew to get it cleaned up, we'll take a break right back here now. The track crew's got the oil spill cleaned up. Cars are lined up. We'll be ready to go here again. We're going to have a real tight race now. We've got Joe 9, Dick Yohe, Smoke Erickson, Bobby Allensworth, Lonnie Vaughn, all on the same lap. Rich Rohr's in there, but he's 3 laps down. Mike, did we get a report on what happened to Gallagher's car?
Yeah, right, Chris. We got a report from our rotary reporter in the pits here that Gallagher blew an engine, and the rod went through the block on the engine, and the motor oil caught on fire. That's what all the flames were that shot clear back to the back axle on the car.
Well, Mike, I'll tell you, I know I got a little excited there during that fire, but I'll tell you, it's been a couple of years here since I saw anything like that here. Mike Gillen barely escaped out of the car, and it completely burned up.
Yeah, right, Chris. I think that was the worst fire we ever had here at Midvale. That car was totally destroyed from that fire, and I think it was right out here in the number 4 turn.
Well, there's still a charged spot on the asphalt here in the number 3 corner where his car came to rest and burn up. And I'll tell you, it's just scares you about half to death every time you see something like that happen. I'll bet Greg Gallagher had to visit the Porta-John here when he got into the pits.
Yeah, another thing we might mention here, Chris, to the fans is that they might think that, well, maybe not the fans, but even the drivers themselves think that this safety equipment is a lot of baloney. But right there, that proved a point. Having that automatic fire extinguisher on board the car. If he hadn't had that on there, it's hard to tell what could have happened there.
Okay, looking for the green flag this time around. We're off the races again. I'll tell you, Mike, Dick Yohe and Smoke Erickson are really closing the gap on Joe 9. And Rich Rohr spins out. It's still maybe a little slick up there in the number 2 turn. Drivers a little cautious there. Coming out of that corner. Real tight race now. Joe 9. Dick Yohe, Smoke Erickson, Bobby Allensworth, and Lonnie Vaughn, all on the same lap. I see Kenny Vickers pulling out again into the infield with a problem.
Those first 3 cars, Chris, are flying around this track. I think this is the best we've seen them run this year.
Well, we might say Mike Joe 9 not able to really pull out a big lead here. Dick Yohe and Smoke Erickson hanging in there tight.
Like you mentioned there, Chris, it looks like that Joe not able to go into the turns as hard as he has been in the past weeks. He's got it coming down the straightaways, but he's letting off of her a little bit in the turns.
Well, the drivers have to be a little cautious in the number 1 and 2 turn. We've had 2 engines blow tonight, both of them in that corner. There's a lot of oil on the track. It's going to be a little slick out there.
That's the point we made before, Chris. Even though the track crew puts oil dry down on the track, it takes a lot of rubber and wear on the track to get that oil dry worked in and to get that slickness off the track.
5 more laps to go. 5 laps to go. And I saw sparks come from the number 45 car. He might have got in on those safety bumps.
Yeah, it looked like he might have hit his header pipe on the safety bumps there, Chris. Coming out of the number 2 turn here.
I'll tell you, Mike, I still think if the number 65, Smoke Erickson, could get around Dick Yohe, he might be able to challenge Joe 9.
Well, I think he's going to have to wait till the next leg of the 100 laps, Chris, because Joe's got about a 5-car lead on the 45 car.
White flag this time, Mike. White flag. 1 more lap. Looks like Joe 9 for the 4th time in a row.
I don't know what else we can say about Joe 9, Chris. The guy is just doing a fantastic job this year. And I couldn't have a nicer fella. Joe's one of the nice as fellas you want to meet. He's had some rough luck here at Midvale when he, in his early years of racing. He started out here at Midvale in our old hobby stock division and moved right up.
Well, for the 4th time in a row, Joe 9 in his green and yellow machine has won the feature. A tough man to beat here at Midvale Speedway this year. I don't know, Mike, the way things look, we might have to bring Bobby Allison in to beat him this year.
Well, it just puts me in mind of when Tony Diano was the dominant figure here at Midvale, Chris. It just seemed like he could run all over the track the same as Joe's doing here and just walking away with everything.
Well, right, Mike. He's just doing an outstanding job. Rounding out the top 5, 2nd place, Dick Yohe. 3rd, Smoke Erickson. 4th, Bobby Allensworth. And 5th, Lonnie Vaughn. So we'll take a break in our action. We'll come back with the 2nd leg of the Firecracker 100 right after this. They'll go 50 laps around. And Joe 9 and Dick Yohe, 1-2 finishers of the first race, are on the pole. Mike, I don't know if anybody can stay up with Joe tonight.
It's going to be tough, Chris, especially with Joe starting on the pole now, whereas in the last 50 he started 16th place. It's going to be awful tough for these guys. If Joe's car stays together, it's going to be awful tough for them guys to beat him. He's got a strong runner beside him, though, Chris, and one behind him. And the car 45 and 65 running real strong tonight.
Well, I told you in the beginning of that other race, in the first 50, that 65, Smoke Erickson, seemed to have a lot of power. So if he can get a break, maybe he possibly could win this one.
Well, I don't know how much difference the tires made in the car, but this is the best I've seen Smoke run, I think, in 3 or 4 years. Our flagman's giving him another parade lap. He wants them bunched up a little further. Got another car coming out of the pit here, number 25, Tom Smith. I think they'll... Now I see Eddie Warmack, our flagman, is giving them another parade lap. Tom Smith trying to catch up with the pack. I think he's running about 8th place. And they're trying to get him in line. I think they're going to get the green flag this time. Got everybody in line now. Coming in for the green flag, and they get the green. And Dick Yohe trying to pull out on Joe 9 on the first lap here. I think that's to his advantage. If he's going to get Joe, he's going to have to get him here in the early running, because if Joe gets out ahead of him, he's going to be tough to beat. Coming. Number 65, Smoke Erickson, pulls into 2nd place now. Running real well. We got a car smoking here, number 88. But they got him off the track in a hurry. Number 65, Smoke Erickson, running into 2nd spot. Number 45, Dick Yohe, 3rd. A good battle here for the 4th spot with Lonnie Vaughn and Bob Allensworth. This is going to be awful tough for these guys to catch Joe, Chris.
Yeah, it looks like Joe's really got it running here. Smoke Erickson might have a chance at him, though.
Looks like to me Dick Yohe's coming down too far on these turns. He's hitting these speed bumps. He's slowing himself down. He had about a 2-car length lead over Lonnie Vaughn. Now Lonnie Vaughn's pulling up beside him. Lonnie Vaughn challenging for the 3rd spot. Number 55, Joe 9, leading the race. 65, Smoke Erickson running a strong 2nd. 45, Dick Yohe in 3rd. 03, Lonnie Vaughn in 4th. Number 3, Bobby Allensworth in 5th.
Okay, Mike, 6 laps complete now. Joe 9 still our leader.
Smoke Erickson's really putting on a strong charge here. trying to catch up with Joe. I think he's about the only one that's going to give Joe a race here if those cars stays together. Joe's running a little different in this second leg of this 50 laps, so Chris, he's coming into the turns a lot harder. I think he put a new set of rubber on at the brake. He's coming in a lot stronger.
Yeah, I think you're right, Mike. He's really pulling away now from Smoke Erickson.
We got a spin out up here in the number 2 turn, number 97. Jack Ripley, but he's got it back under control. But our flagman gives him the yellow flag. So we can get these cars back in line now, which might give Smoke Erickson an advantage here. He'll be right on Joe 9's bumper. And if I'm not mistaken here, Chris, they'll start double file, but I don't think the race is half over, is it?
No, we've got 9 laps in, Mike, so they'll go to double file.
This is going to be a big advantage, I think, for Smoke Erickson. Like I said before, if anybody's going to get Joe 9, they have to get him on the start. They'll have to get him down the front stretch, or coming into the first turn. Once Joe gets out ahead of him, he's going to be tough to catch. Okay, I think we have the cars back in line now. Double foul. 55, Joe 9 on the pole. 65, Smoke Erickson in second. 45, Dick Yohe in third. 03, Lonnie Vaughn in fourth. And in fifth place is Bobby Allensworth in the number 3 car. The flagman's got him where he wants him now, I think. We'll get the green on the next lap around.
Well, Smoke Erickson on the outside there, Mike. If he could just pull Joe a little bit and get ahead, I don't know if Joe could pass him.
Like I say, Chris, he's going to have to make his move in this first, coming down the front stretch. We've got the green flag, and Joe, they're running side by side. He's going into the number 1 turn. It's awful tough for these guys to get around Joe in this car. He's just running super. Coming around the first lap, and Joe's got a 2-car lead on him already. I think that's going to be the secret for anybody to beat Joe 9, unless something unfortunate happens, is to get Joe on the front straightaway. If they don't get him there, they're not going to get him. We got a good race for third spot between number 45, Dick Yohe, and 03, Lonnie Vaughn. We got about 5 cars here, I think, running real well. Dick Yohe in number 45 car in sole possession of third spot right now. Smoke Erickson trying to cut down on the advantage of Joe 9. We haven't said much about Rich Rohr in this race, Chris. He started last. He's moved up to about 7th place now. Trying to move on the outside.
Yeah,
he's running really real fast.
He's really moving now. Rohr might be a factor in this race. "13 laps now. Joe 9 still our leader. Smoke Erickson is still second.
Dick Yohe in third spot. 03, Lonnie Vaughn in fourth. Number 3, Bobby Allensworth in fifth. I think the tires that Joe put on there at the brake made a big difference. He's really moving around the track a lot better than he was in the first 50. Especially in the turns. He's really sticking in the turns now.
Well, Mike, he doesn't seem to be able to pull away yet. Smoke Erickson hanging in there.
I think where Smoke's making up his ground, Chris, is in the turns. Like we said before, he's running our test tires with the tread on them, and I think they're sticking in the turns real well. where Joe's getting him is on the straightaways, though. He's just pulling away from him. Lonnie Vaughn challenging Dick Yohe for the third spot. Rich Rohr lost control there and hit Lonnie Vaughn there. I was getting ready to say Rich Rohr was moving up to the fourth spot, but he dropped back now. Rich Rohr might be a contending factor in this race. Driving real well. There's Rich Rohr coming up on Bobby Allensworth. Joe 9 with about a 6-car lead now. It's going to be awful tough for these guys to pass Joe. Unless he blows an engine or blows a tire. It looks like the same old story. Smoke Erickson in sole second. Dick Yohe in third. Lonnie Vaughn in fourth. And here comes Rich Rohr, number 7 in the fifth. Rich Rohr. Oh, it's like we got a blown engine here in 03. So that moved Rich Rohr up the fourth spot. Bobby Allensworth in the fifth spot. Rich Rohr's running real good. Joe 9 with about an 8-10 car lead now. As we can see here, Smoke Erickson picks up a little ground in the turns. But coming down these straightaways, he can't compete with Joe. Rich Rohr moving up now. Trying to make up a little bit of ground on the third place car, Dick Yohe. Rich Rohr running real good, Chris.
Well, halfway home now, Joe 9 with a comfortable lead. Rich Rohr, though, trying to gain some ground.
I think we ought to mention here, too, Chris, that there's a lot of these cars out here right now that's been lapped 2 or 3 times, but yet they still stick it out. I think they just love to race. Unless something unfortunate happens, they have no chance of winning, but they're still out there competing.
Well, you never know when something might happen to a car, so you got to stick in there. Just hope that luck works your way. Smoke Erickson making up a lot of ground on Joe 9, Mike. Close the gap.
Yeah, he closed the gap. He's only got about a 2-car length lead on Smoke now. Rich Rohr trying to take over third spot. They're running side by side out of the number 2 turn. Rich pulling ahead just a little. They're coming into the fourth turn. Coming down the front stretch. Rich has got about a half a car lead. Takes over third place. Joe 9 still in first. Smoke Erickson in second. Making up a lot of valuable ground on Joe. But Bobby Allensworth running a far 5th place.
Rich Rohr moved into the third spot.
Joe 9 extending his lead by a car length. Coming into the traffic now, this might... Bernie Sellers got a little bit loose there in the number 2 turn. Joe 9 doing a super job of driving here. He went through that crowd like they wasn't even there. Still running about the same way. Joe 9 leading the race. Smoke Erickson second. Rich Rohr running third now.
I think if we had a caution flag right now, we'd have a different race. Joe 9, he's not able to run and hide from these guys.
I think the one that would would gain the most would be Rich Rohr. Chris, he's running real strong right now in the third position. If they would get a caution flag here now, this might be a different race. We had one car drop out of the race, number 58, Kenny Stevens.
Yeah, Stevens was running 7th when he pulled out. This here will be 36 laps. Joe 9, Smoke Erickson right behind him. Rich Rohr, Dick Yohe, Bobby Allensworth, Kenny Sellers, all on the same lap.
So 14 laps to go. Unless something happens, Joe's he's driving a beautiful race. Rich Rohr has really done a fantastic job here in this second leg of the Firecracker. He started last. He's up to third place now, and he's been in third place probably 6 or 8 laps, so Rich has really been motoring around the track. I don't think there's any denying Joe 9 of this race, though, Chris. He's just doing super. You have to give Smoke Erickson a lot of credit, though. He's drove an outstanding race. He's drove outstanding all night. This is the best I've seen him run that I can remember. We got a caution flag out. I can't see what happened. But we've got a caution flag out. This is going to mean a lot to Smoke Erickson and Rich Rohr, even though they will start in single file.
I'll tell you, Mike, 11 laps to go. Joe 9 now has got Smoke Erickson and Rich Rohr right on his bumper, and Rohr's got his arm hanging out the window. It's what he wanted. Evidently, he thinks he has enough car to get by. And I see Tom Smith, number 25, is pulled in. Something wrong with his car, so our flagman Eddie Warmack must feel that there's something on the track, maybe a little bit of oil again. So instead of taking any chances, he'll have the crew check out the track. Right now we have 6 cars on the same lap, so really, Mike, in 39 laps, Joe hasn't been able to run off and hide. He's got Smoke Erickson, Rich Rohr, Dick Yohe, Bobby Allensworth, and Kenny Sellers all still out there on his tail, so by no means this is not going to be his easiest victory of the year.
Well, I think it's a point we've been trying to point out all season, Chris. From night one, Joe has had this car running just fantastic. But these other cars, I think, are starting to figure out a few things that they need to do. And everything is piled up towards tonight. And I think it's paying off for these other fellas.
Well, we've only got 12 laps to go. We've got 12 cars still on the track. And 6 of those cars are in the same lap, so anybody can win this race yet. Rich Rohr really seemed to be moving up strong. I don't know, though, Mike. Smoke Erickson was my pick to come on and win this second race.
Well, they're getting one more parade lap. The flagman wants them bunched up a little bit better. I think one thing we overlooked there, Chris, that Rich still has to get around number 65. Smoke's running real well.
Well, you're right, Mike. Any little break here.
One more lap.
I see Rich Rohr moving outside there on the start. Our flagman won't like that very well. All these cars are supposed to be tucked in, one behind the other. And if he tries to make his move a little too early, Mike, he might just get himself black flagged.
Right, it looked like Rich was trying to move out towards the fence there a little bit early. The reason that the cars are in single file is that the race is half over. And once it reaches that point, any restarts are started in single file. So we're looking for the green flag on this time around. Well, we got a car here it looks like he just blowed an engine.
Glenn Jewell just lost something in the turn.
The number 4 turn.
It's either oil or water all over the turn.
So that'll give us another delay here for a few minutes.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike, I'm really surprised at this race. In the last few weeks of our racing, Joe 9 has really went out and just lapped almost everyone in the field except Rich Rohr. And tonight, 39 laps into this feature, there's 6 cars still in the same lap. So that tells us either Joe's had a problem and slowed down a little bit, or everyone else is caught up. And,
we've got a discussion going on down here with our pit steward, Dean Miles. One of the cars looks like Ed Nelson, number 74. I don't know what the problem was, but he's getting back in his car now. I think this would be a good time to mention our track personnel, Chris. Come out here every Saturday night and do a fine job. Our pit steward here at the pit entrance, Dean Miles, along with Joe DiCaminata, who does the lining up of the races here in the pits. And we have Wishbone Shamel, who takes care of everybody after the races with our little, should I say, Midvale Speedway picnic.
yeah, it's something like that.
And we just can't say enough about Roy King and his crew, like our announcer, Don Wagner, who's been here for 25 years, I think he said. Roy and his boys do about the best job he's seen in his 25 years. So all in all, I think everybody does their part to make everything run smooth. And newcomer we have in our personnel this year is Matt Plotz, who does just about anything that we want done once the races start. And before the races start, he sells the tickets to come into the pits. So all in all, I think we have a real fine crew here.
Ed Nelson evidently had a problem with his car, pulled in the infield, now needs a push to get back out on the track. He may have to bring it in the pits here and do some adjusting.
Well, I think that's what Dean told him there, Chris. One of the boys from Ed Nelson's crew there wanted to go out on the track with a wrench. And he's not allowed to do that. If they want to make any adjustments to the car, he has to come into the pits. So, with everything off the track now, we might get one more lap here. We get the oil dry work down into the track. I see the flagman giving them one more lap. Looking for the green this time around, and we got it. Rich Rohr trying to make his move on Smoke Erickson. He pulls up beside it, coming in the number 1 turn. Real close race here now. That restart made a big difference for these 2 cars. Joe 9 still in the lead. Smoke Erickson second. Rich Rohr third. Rich Rohr coming into the number 1 turn. Side by side with Smoke Erickson. Putting on a strong charge here. Joe 9 pulling out now. Couple car lead. Rich Rohr trying to make his move into second place. Coming out of number 2. Side by side coming into 3.
I'll tell you, Mike, he's really running strong right now. Got Ed Nelson coming back out on the track.
Joe 9 still leading the race. With about 6 or 7 laps to go. Rick's Roar just couldn't quite get around Smoke. We got a car spun out down here in the number 2 turn. Looks like number 17. We haven't now. Now we get a yellow flag. One guy I forgot to mention, Chris, with our track personnel, another newcomer this year is Bob Green, who helps in the pit ticket booth before the races start, and then helps out up here in the tower once the races start. And this fine crew from TV2 helping us out on camera, Brian Young, directing Mike Civillo, assisting Mike, Dave Welker. I'm Mike Bracone, calling the action here in our second leg of the 50-lap feature, along with Chris Delotti, doing a multitude of jobs here tonight, trying to make things run smooth.
Mike, it really looked like Rich Roar was going to be able to give him a battle there, but he slipped coming out of the 4th turn, and now he's back in 3rd hole again. But that car really has a lot of power, and if he can get around Smoke Erickson, I think he'll put the pressure on Joe 9 with only 7 laps remaining. Might mention the boys that help Roy King out every week. We've got his son-in-law Keith Horsberger, Chuck Gerber, Rod Neff, Howard Lute, Sid Bloom, Roy always doing his wonderful job. Also Tim King. We've got a real good crew here too, Mike, also from the Quaker Ambulance Company. They've been right on every wreck and taking care of things real well here. So, pro and Bobby Shepner into the infield. Our flagman Eddie Warmack giving him the signal. Bunch up, we're ready to go. Another evening of long racing program here at Midvale Speedway. It's just about 1:45 right now. We've had a lot of wrecks again tonight. Might also mention too, Mike, Bobby Allensworth moving up there in the 4th spot.
Yeah, Bobby's running real strong tonight too, Chris. I think that car's coming into its own again. Last year it was one of the top runners here at Midvale. I think the broadcast of the race tonight brings a different dimension of racing to people that don't.
Rich Roar trying to go outside again. Oh, and something let loose in Roar's car.
Looks like he blowed the engine there, Chris.
Oh, there's oil all over the track.
Oil all over the track. Try to keep everybody down inside.
Our flagman, Eddie Warmack. White flag comes out, only 1 lap to go. Smoke Erickson.
Coming up on number 55, Joe 9's bumper. He's going to trying to make a race out of this on the last lap. But I don't think Joe's going to be denied. It looks like 55, 65, 3 and 45.
Well, Mike, Joe 9 picking up where he left off in our first 50-lap feature. He took the lead in the 24th lap of that, led to the finish, and led to the next 50 laps. So Joe took home about $900 in prize money for winning the first 2 races, plus lap money. So Joe took home well over $1,000 tonight. And I tell you, Mike, something we could see tonight. Competition is really going to come from the number 65 car in the next few weeks, Smoke Erickson. That car ran real well tonight, and I think he might give Joe all he wants the remainder of the season.
We pointed out there before, Chris, I think the other cars are starting to work the bugs out of the car, and they're going to make these races more competitive.
Okay, Joe 9 pulling up now to receive his trophy from our sponsor, Bob Green from Hill and Littleton Ford in Uricksville. Also out there is our assistant flagman, Bill Barnes, and our track photographer, Harry Brown. And Harry's with us every Saturday night, takes racing photos. You can get the picture of your favorite driver anytime you want from Harry and his staff. So while we have this timeout, we'll take a break here, and we'll be back with our Spectator A feature right after this. 5 is Larry McMillan, 47, Jody Vickers, 21, Rich McKim, Bill Coventry, 17, Lou Vickers, R1, Ed Singhouse, 0, Brian Volk, 19, our fastest qualifier tonight, J.R. Ridgway, 31, Ben Gibson, 3, Ray McKim, 11, Bob Swan. So this here, Mike, the way the night's been, it's 1:30. We're ending up our 19th race. The cars are all over the track just trying to line up. This ought to be one slam-bang affair.
Flag giving the pack a yellow flag. He's getting kind of upset. He wants to get these cars lined up. They were banging each other just coming around the parade lap.
Well, he's only been standing on that flag stand for about 8 hours now, and we've had all kind of wrecks tonight. Might mention next Saturday night we're having our regular season racing program with late models, spectator stocks, and figure 8s, and also on hand will be John Lanigan from TV 43 WGAR to MC the Miss Midvale contest. Always one of the favorites of the crowd. We get to pick a Miss Midvale of the year.
Looks like we're going to get the green this time. If they make it through the first turn, I mean. We got another car coming out here. It was one of the 5 finishers of the consolation event, I guess. Trying to get in line. So now we'll have another parade lap.
You might want to run down the results of tonight's races, Mike.
Okay, tonight in our late model dash, which seems like it was about 3 days ago, Smoke Erickson of Delroy came out on top. The first late model heat was won by Mike Gillen. Second late model heat won by Jim Coffey of Delroy. And our fast heat in the late models was won by Kenny Sellers of New Philly.
Oh, 0, Brian Volk, and 11, Bob Swan spinning around. Both back in action now. Mike, J.R. Ridgway's moved up a long way already. Fastest qualifier of the night. J.R.'s really been running good this year in our figure 8 division.
Well, in my opinion, J.R. is, per se, in comparison, the Joe 9 of the figure 8s.
Well, J.R.'s been laying back, not getting in any trouble so far this year, and he's coming out on top a lot.
JR does an excellent job in this figure 8 division.
Number 2, Gary Rose, got the lead. Jody Vickers right behind him. There's many cars that's running there, Mike. Before this is over, we're going to have a few narrow misses there, or maybe some collisions here at this X.
I think that's what the fans are waiting on, Chris. They're waiting on those close encounters at the midsection.
Have you ever had any of those before?
Real close. Matter of fact, I had one today.
Yeah, you was just telling me about this high wind today out on the lake when you was fishing.
Well, to explain it real simply, we thought we were in the outer limits. One time we looked up and the sun was shining. The next time we looked up, we was being blown across Buckeye Lake down Newark.
Oh, Jody Vickers spinning out down there. He was trying to catch up with Gary Rose, but running around now. J.R. Ridgway's moved into 3rd spot. I'll tell you, Mike, it takes a lot more guts to run in this race than what I've got. No way you'd get me out there in one of those cars.
Not only that, Chris, it takes a good bit of driving skill, too. Not only these late model drivers are considered good drivers, but we got a tire come off of number 47. It's rolling clear out here on the big track. I don't know if he knows. Yeah, finally he realizes he lost it. Now he run over and hit the fence.
Well, Jody Vickers lost a tire.
JR's moved up to 2nd place.
Yeah.
As I was saying there, Chris, it takes some skill to negotiate these turns in this figure 8. You don't realize it unless you're down there close watching.
Well, it's hard just to keep the car under control without spinning out, going around these turns as fast as they're moving.
JR's making a move now. He's right on number 2's bumper. I think
Well, he's got him now. He's got him. I'm pretty sure that the number 3 car is a lap down.
That's what I was getting ready to...
They might put the team squeeze, and JR lost control, went up and hit a parked car. JR went in a little hard, Mike.
Yeah, I think
looks like he lost it.
He got caught in the marbles up there, Chris. That's the loose dirt up in the turns on the track, and very unfortunate for JR that he had to hit that car, because I think he was making his move on the leader there, and it might have been a different story.
Well, he's back in the race a little bit here, but unfortunately he's going to be too far down to do any good, and he's decided now with the white flag coming out that he'll just call it a night. Still a tough break for JR, because normally he handles it a little better than that, but it's, like you said, a lot of oil on the track, loose stuff. So Gary Rose will be our firecracker figure 8 champion. Well, Mike, we've had a long night of racing here on TV2. A lot of the fans were still here in the stands to watch this race. This is what a lot of them come to see. This figure 8 really keeps the crowd on its feet. We've had an exciting night of action here at Midvale Speedway. A lot of good racing brought your way here on TV2, where there's more to see on cable TV. So, until next week, we're going to call it a morning, and we'll see you next week at the races.
This is Tower.
You might want to run down the results of tonight's races, Mike.
Okay, tonight in our late model dash, which seems like it was about 3 days ago, Smoke Erickson of Delroy came out on top. First late model heat was won by Mike Gillen. Second late model heat won by Jim Coffey of Delroy. And our fast heat in the late models was won by Kenny Sellers of New Philly.
Oh, 0, Brian Volk, and 11, Bob Swan spinning around. Both back in action now. Mike, J.R. Ridgway's moved up a long way already. Fastest qualifier of the night. JR's really been running good this year in our figure 8 division.
Well, in my opinion, JR is, per se, in comparison, the Joe 9 of the figure 8s.
Well, JR's been laying back, not getting in any trouble so far this year, and he's coming out on top a lot.
JR does an excellent job in this figure 8 division.
Number 2, Gary Rose, got the lead. Jody Vickers right behind him. There's many cars that's running there, Mike. Before this is over, we're going to have a few narrow misses there, or maybe some collisions here at this X.
I think that's what the fans are waiting on, Chris. They're waiting on those close encounters at the midsection.
Have you ever had any of those before?
Real close. Matter of fact, I had one today.
Yeah, you was just telling me about this high wind today out on the lake when you was fishing.
Well, to explain it real simply, we thought we were in the outer limits. One time we looked up and the sun was shining. The next time we looked up, we was being blown across Buckeye Lake down in Newark.
Oh, Jody Vickers spinning out down there. He was trying to catch up with Gary Rose, but running around now. J.R. Ridgway's moved into 3rd spot. I'll tell you, Mike, it takes a lot more guts to run in this race than what I've got. No way you get me out there in one of those cars.
Not only that, Chris, it takes a good bit of driving skill, too. Not only these late model drivers are considered good drivers, but we got a tire come off of number 47. It's rolling clear out here on the big track. I don't know if he knows. Yeah, finally he realizes he lost it. Now he run over and hit the fence.
Well, Jody Vickers lost a tire.
JR's moved up to 2nd place.
Yeah.
As I was saying there, Chris, it takes some skill to negotiate these turns in this figure 8. You don't realize it unless you're down there close watching.
Well, it's hard just to keep the car under control without spinning out, going around these turns as fast as they're moving.
JR's making a move now. He's right on number 2's bumper. I think
Well, he's got him now. He's got him. I'm pretty sure that the number 3 car is a lap down.
That's what I was getting ready to...
They might put the team squeeze, and JR lost control, went up and hit a parked car. JR went in a little hard, Mike.
Yeah, I think
looks like he lost it.
Got caught in the marbles up there, Chris. That's the loose dirt up in the turns on the track, and very unfortunate for JR that he had to hit that car, because I think he was making his move on the leader there, and it might have been a different story.
Well, he's back in the race a little bit here, but unfortunately he's going to be too far down to do any good. And he's decided now with the white flag coming out that he'll just call it a night. A tough break for JR, because normally he handles it a little better than that, but it's, like you said, a lot of oil on the track, loose stuff. So Gary Rose will be our Firecracker figure 8 champion. Well, Mike, we've had a long night of racing here on TV2. A lot of the fans were still here in the stands to watch this race. This is what a lot of them come to see. This figure 8 really keeps the crowd on its feet. We've had an exciting night of action here at Midvale Speedway. A lot of good racing brought your way here on TV2, where there's more to see on cable TV.